Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Titan Top 5 Plays Week 6. As you can tell, there's a yellow tint outside, and I'm sunburnt to all shit. But that's okay. I thank you guys for bearing with me. I know this episode took a bit to come out, but now it's here. So, join me. We're going to count down the top 5 plays from Week 6, beginning with number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 5, we play sent by Buggy D in Titan Conquerors League, where Renata Alt just completely steamrolls a fight. Some say Mundo goes where he pleases, but this Renata certainly disagrees, and it's what should honestly be a losing fight at this stage in the game, fully turned around by a 5-man stun. So let's go ahead and take a look. And here we go. The team fight about to be underway. Dragon, of course, spawning. They are on the cups. That Mountain Dragon's up. Jarvan already gonna be in the pit. 5-man stacked in that bush. The Zed and Ziggs trying to get some poke. The reveal from the Leona. Here it goes. Buggy D getting a little bit of damage off of that Mundo. There's gonna be the huge Dragon Ascents coming from that Shyvana. But there's Stun for Days. The 5-man Renata ult. The hostile takeover. Their team can't play the game. Hatred going in deep. That's gonna be 3. Can they make it 4? Oh my god! The turnaround is absolutely insane, and it's going to be an ace. Coming in at number 4, I mean, it's Ezreal, but the LCK edition of it. Sometimes I watch ADCs, and they just feel like they're playing too far forward, but Turn Up Tom here. Make sure to play really, really deep, and is rewarded for it by just knowing his strength and maneuvering perfectly on this Ezreal pick. So let's go ahead and take a look.
I'll play push and just look for a quick engage.
No, you're gonna give him reset. I have Vigor trapped.
Nautilus?
Stun, just finish Nautilus.
Nice.
Play out. Yeah, because he doesn't have ultimate, so I could always flash out.
I'm coming back. I have EQ.
Good stun.
Beautiful.
All yours. Good job, guys.
Coming in at number 3, we all love Leonardo DiCaprio movies, right? Catch Me If You Can is a wonderful movie. Try catching an Aurora. Go ahead. Really try. Let's see what happens when Aurora just dances circles around the enemy team in Titan Vanquisher League. Jarvan on the curtain call, getting a sizable bit of damage off. They're posturing around this pit. The Ashe arrow going to land. It's going to land hard. There's going to be the Cataclysm inwards, but between worlds is popped. They find the Ashe. They find the Braum as well. Although we're playing deep in the back line, Aurora's still going to be coming around. That's a 3rd kill. Can they make it 4? The answer's going to be yes. It's a quadra kill for Aurora. They're finding the TP. They're going to look for the Penta here. Can they find it? Mundo on the run is going to be trying to take that red buff. He does have a lot of health. Can Aurora finish the job, though? Oh, my God. The twofold took out half of Mundo's HP, but he's on the rundown. Did they bite off more than they can chew? Another Between Worlds would be very nice here, but they're not going to find it. But the twofold hex finishes the job. It's a penta kill for Staffy. Coming in at number 3. Oh, my God. You guys know that meme, right? That's what this entire team was left screaming at this 4-man Poppy ult after they just CC'd an enemy team forever. I mean, what do you do into Poppy, Ashe, Seraphine, and Annie? You just don't move. It doesn't matter. You group up, you don't move. You stand single target, you get picked. It's rough. Featuring, of course, Camille support, which, guys, I know a lot of us keep playing Camille support. I think it's great. You're going to play Camille support. This isn't even a knock on the Camille in this game. Make sure you got a lot of games. I keep seeing people want to cast Throw on that champion, and you at least ban the Poppy if you're going to lock. Ladies and gentlemen, so many of you guys sent in clips, especially when you all realized this was getting delayed. I had like 4 or 5 clips sent to me. I try to edit these on Mondays, sometimes Tuesdays, which is why you usually see them come out on Monday or Tuesday. So try to get your clips sent in before like Monday at 5 p.m. if you can. But that said, we had so many clips sent to me, I wanted to include a more honorable mention this week. So let's take a look.
I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
When 80 gets here, it's okay.
I'm running.
Malphite ulted him. Think hard. Come on, Olaf, so. Olaf ulted, can we kite? Can we kite? Or play on the line, play on the line. Oh, it's Thanos here, I think.
Yeah, just let me kill this guy.
Yeah. No Malphite ult. Go forward, go forward. Malphite, Malphite. Yeah, Malphite's fine. Already no ult charges. Yeah, nice. I can go. I can go. Here. Big slow. Go me. I can tank a little bit. I'm tanking still. Nice, I'm
Okay.
out.
What a fucking massacre.
Good shit.
On it, 3K.
2K. They see me.
It's just him. Good job.
Oh my god, my poison.
I'm rooting.
My poison stole. My poison stole it.
Yeah,
PK
fucking
ate him. I'm going around.
Yep.
Slowing.
Oh,
didn't hit. The heal. Nice.
And ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 1, it's a player from Titan Conqueror League. Guys, if you send me a pentakill, it's making the list. This is Varus doing Varus things. And everyone keeps telling me, oh, Romeo, Varus is weak. It should never be picked right now. If it's picked, it's an auto loss. And to those people, I say, take a look.
What the? Yeah, excuse the hell out of me. I'm so sorry to them for that freaking hook on Galio. It's disgusting.
One guy's your mission? One guy's your top? You guys are
Brother.
not.
Oh my god, I landed the hook.
Doesn't matter.
He's
Holy.
pentakill.
Penta?
He's one. He's
Penta?
well, yeah, penta.
Oh, you got penta.
Yeah, peel him.
I can't, I'm in.
Peel him, legend.
Oh, back on the top.
Oh,
Louis.
yeah,
That's
back-
okay.
Yeah, put that one on.
And ladies and gentlemen, that was it. As you can tell, I'm sunburnt to all hell, and I'm going to get back to the interview room before Sam beats me into submission. So thank you guys all for watching. Make sure you leave a comment if you like this, what play was your favorite. Keep sending in those clips. We already got quite a few for this week, so keep sending them in for week 7, guys. It's much appreciated, and let's keep this content rolling all the way through playoffs. GG's. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Titan Top 5 Plays Week 6. As you can tell, there's a yellow tint outside, and I'm sunburnt to all shit. But that's okay. I thank you guys for bearing with me. I know this episode took a bit to come out, but now it's here. So join me. We're going to count down the top 5 plays from Week 6, beginning with number 5. Ladies and gentlemen, coming in at number 5, we play sent by Buggy D in Titan Conquerors League, where Renata Alt just completely steamrolls a fight. Some say Mundo goes where he pleases, but this Renata certainly disagrees, and it's what should honestly be a losing fight at this stage in the game, fully turned around by a 5-man Sun. So let's go ahead and take a look. And here we go. The team fight about to be underway. Dragon, of course, spawning. They are on the cups. That Mountain Dragon's up. Jarvan already gonna be in the pit. 5-man stacked in that bush. The Zed and Zig trying to get some poke. The reveal from the Leona. Here it goes. Buggy D getting a little bit of damage off of that Mundo. There's going to be the huge Dragon Ascents coming from that Shyvana, but they're stunned for days. The 5-man Renata ult, the hostile takeover. Their team can't play the game. Hatred going in deep. That's going to be 3. Can they make it 4? Oh my god. The turnaround is absolutely insane, and it's going to be an ace. Coming in at number 4, I mean, it's Ezreal, but the LCK edition of it. Sometimes I watch ADCs, and they just feel like they're playing too far forward. But Turn Up Tom here, make sure to play really, really deep, and he's rewarded for it by just knowing his strength and maneuvering perfectly on this Ezreal pick. So let's go ahead and take a look.
I'll play push and just look for a quick engage.
No, you're gonna give me set. I think we're trapped.
Nautilus?
Stun, just finish Nautilus.
Nice.
Play out. Yeah, because he doesn't have ultimate, so I could always flash out.
I'm coming back. I have EQ.
Good stun.
Beautiful.
All yours. Good job, guys.
Coming in at number 3, we all love Leonardo DiCaprio movies, right? Catch Me If You Can is a wonderful movie. Try catching an Aurora. Go ahead. Really try. Let's see what happens when Aurora just dances circles around the enemy team in Titan Vanquisher League. Jarvan on the curtain call, getting a sizable bit of damage off. They're posturing around this pit. The Ash arrow gonna land. It's gonna land hard. There's gonna be the Cataclysm inwards, but between worlds is popped. They find the Ash. They find the Braum as well. Although we're playing deep in the back line, Aurora's still gonna be coming around. That's a 3rd kill. Can they make it 4? The answer's gonna be yes. It's a quadra kill for Aurora. They're finding the TP. They're gonna look for the Penta here. Can they find it? Mundo on the run is gonna be trying to take that red buff. He does have a lot of health. Can Aurora finish the job though? Oh my god. The twofold took out half of Mundo's HP, but he's on the rundown. Did they bite off more than they can chew? Another Between Worlds would be very nice here, but they're not going to find it. But the twofold hex finishes the job. It's a penta kill for Staffy. Coming in at number 3. Oh my god. You guys know that meme, right? That's what this entire team was left screaming at this 4-man Poppy ult after they had just CC'd an enemy team forever. I mean, what do you do into Poppy, Ashe, Seraphine, and Annie? You just don't move. It doesn't matter. You group up, you don't move. You stand single target, you get picked. It's rough. Featuring, of course, Camille support, which, guys, I know a lot of us keep playing Camille support. I think it's great. You're going to play Camille support. This isn't even a knock on the Camille in this game. Make sure you got a lot of games. I keep seeing people want to cast the Raw on that champion, and you at least ban the Poppy if you're going to lock.
yeah, we're working on it. Let's say.
What flag signals? Flag signals. Let's see here. What can we? They can hear us now. Oh, I don't have to do flag signals. Okay, that's good.
No, they're
okay.
We're
okay.
We're sweet. We're on now. Okay.
All right. So playoff picture. Val.
Okay. Yep. Go ahead and redo your intro since we.
Okay. One more take on the intro. Hello, everybody. I'm Halfling. There we go. One more stinger. Hello, everybody. I'm Halfling, joined by Fel. We've got week 7. It's the playoff picture for Group A here. And Fel, you and me have been looking at this for like 20-something minutes. What's it looking like to you? What have we came up with? Because we definitely didn't finish, but I think we've got a good understanding of what's going on tonight.
Okay, yes. So, Group A only. This is what we're going over. So basically, you have Mighty Morphin Syndicate. They're in. Win or lose, they're in. They're going to end up either 4-3 or 5-2. They are playing against Conduit Esports Genesis, who, along with Theory of Everything Quantization, Elegy Crusaders are both 3-3, or all 3-3. Okay, and then Mint Gaming Assassins, who is playing Elegy Crusaders tonight, is going to be. They are 2-4. At the moment, on the outside looking in, and then Luminary Esports at 1-5. So, Mighty Morphin Syndicate, as you had said during the audio break, is playing against CEG. If CEG wins, they're in. If Mighty Morphin Syndicate wins, they're in, or wins or loses, they're in either way. And then you have Theory of Everything Quantization playing against Luminary Esports. Now, if Elegy Crusaders wins this match tonight that we're about to showcase, then they are in, and Mint Gaming is out because they will be 2-5, so they'll have no chance. But if Mint Gaming Assassin wins, it goes by the head-to-head, and at
Very
that
creepy.
point, yeah, so it goes head-to-head, which would mean that Mint Gaming Assassins, having beating Elegy, would be above them in the seeding, and then Elegy would need Luminary Esports to beat Theory of Everything Quantization to be in, or if Conduit Esports Genesis loses, Elegy actually beat them, lost to them. So the only way that they would be able to get in is if Luminary Esports was to win. Now, if Theory of Everything loses and Conduit Esports loses, then let me double check this just to make sure I'm right. I think that Theory of Everything Evolution would end up being in. Let me just... Yes, so they beat them in week 5 prior to the cross realm or cross bracket. So yeah, so if both Genesis and Theory of Everything Evolution Quantization, God, I can't say that. If TOE end up losing and Genesis loses, then TOE would be in along with Mint Gaming. So it's kind of like a crazy thing. But that's your breakdown right there. Mint Gaming wins, they're in. If Elegy wins, they're in. And then if Conduit Esports Genesis wins, they're in. And if any of those 3 scenarios don't work out, it's all crazy.
Yep. It's going to be very crazy tonight. We're going to be keeping our eyes, us here on the broadcast, are getting some help from the admins to try and keep the game score updated, especially with that Conduit Esports and Mighty Morphin Syndicate. That's your first seed. That's your big boss that has to kind of look over across to the undefeated Mint 2B and be able to be the ones that can punch up at that weight. So, and I know you personally, as well as our producer, are going to be keeping eyes on the Elysium Unks. Naturally, so we'll probably also have a couple updates about that series. So it's going to be a very fun filled night, maybe akin to the Red Zone, except instead of having multiple camera angles, it's just us kind of talking your ears off. And a little update, because I love, not to shame at all, because it's out of their control, let's see here, someone's stuck in traffic. One of the mids is stuck in traffic right now, so we're going to be here for a bit longer. Playoff scenarios aside, there's been it's been about a week and a half and some change after MSI. We've seen these metas develop. If you've been paying attention to the Esports World Cup, there's been some fun games there. Otherwise, in general, we do have draft ready to go. Hold up, stop everything, go to draft? Question mark. Great, bam, there we go, slam cut. Welcome everybody back to the draft. We're gonna have some fun thing to watch. Mid is here now, so they were almost stuck in traffic, but now they're here for this series, so now we can kind of keep moving on, watch these bands. But we've been seeing the MSI meta kind of mature a little bit, definitely a little bit more on the aggressive side, which is always great to see. Lock is enabled, so that's one of the champions that you may have to permaban. We might see in game 1, you never know. And there are, of course, nuns coming on through, so we'll get an update if that's some sort of roster thing or it's just the players messing around.
Yeah, and like you said, it has transitioned once again back. Now, it's not as bad as it was last season when you had Otacon and all the Throw-Con and all this other stuff. And Riot basically said, if you don't fight and win early on, you're not going to win the game. So they have gone back to like a more slower meta. But yeah, over this past little bit, like they buffed tank supports because they want the engage, they want the action. They just don't want to force it too much, as we are starting to get some of these graphics coming through. Elegy Crusaders is going to be on the blue side and make Gaming Assassins on the red side. But yeah, so we have seen a transition lately towards more aggressive playstyles. We have seen, especially when you get in between these different regions, there's no time to feel each other out. They don't scrim against each other a lot, so it's all just like kind of cattywampus, and everything can go haywire really quickly, as we are going to get the Seraphine as the first pick here. That does mean that Locke is still up, but MGA is going to take the Ashe away from that combo, as we've seen that combo be absolutely just running roughshod all over the place.
And there have been answers and responses typically into just diving it early, keeping that Seraphine more specific than the Ashe uncomfortable. And then by nature of how bot lane works, the Ashe will not really be able to scale into that kiting monster that deals damage. She'll kite you, but it's just going to kind of be getting peppered with a 30-minute PD Ashe, so it doesn't really matter. And the big thing when you're separating Ashe Seraphine, both sides are very happy. I remember kind of in the past days with like the Lucian Nami separation from a couple of years ago, it was always like, yeah, the Nami team was kind of happy, but the Lucian team was perfectly fine with the situation here. And I think that's not necessarily the case, because you have options. You can kind of go into this pick comp that MGA is really starting to heavily favor with that Orianna pickup. They want to have side lane picks, but you look over at Elegy, they're not shying away from it either. Lissandra very good at that. Xin Zhao happy to have the Seraphine here.
Oh yeah, 1000%. This is like one of those things, like, you know who's not trying to avoid your ultimate? Your teammates. So just pick teammates that can go in and be in front of you, and you just click on them, and it just, you know, it just makes it go a lot further on as it connects to everybody else. So I do like the pickups. Lissandra was basically, to me, is basically a go ahead, pick lock, please pick lock, you know, because that's one of those champions. Between that, Malzahar, anybody with like really strong point and click lockdown like Lissandra has is like really strong into that. But yeah, I really like Elegy's comp right now. The only problem is that they do, as the Nautilus comes out, so that's going to be pretty scary for the Seraphine if they get a little bit behind, because we do know one thing: if Ashe gets ahead early on, it's almost impossible to get away from them.
Yeah, once that tempo shifts into the Ashe's favor, especially at those objective timers, you'll have that arrow, you'll have Paranoia up, you'll have the Nautilus moving around the map, who's going to feel pretty comfortable to move around. That's an ADC Seraphine. They're shifting the Rakan into the support role. I'm pretty happy to see that. And a good Garen lock in here as well to try and dissuade some of those kind of more typical tanks you'll see on 5 into a comp like what Elegy has. Because you're looking at Mint Gaming Assassins, and you do just have to go Bruiser. You can't lock in a tank into the face of a Garen and a Xin Zhao. They're just going to get all of their stacks for free. But looking at the DPS, a little low from this Elegy squad, especially compared to MGA.
I think it is, but if you do, you know, tend to pair like a Xin Zhao along with Lissandra ult, along with Seraphine, and you can get a bunch of people like all locked into an Encore, then yeah, definitely, you know, really good. I love the Rakan into Nautilus. It's one of my favorite matchups as Rakan to play into, either that or like an Alistar or something, just because of how well it just counters everything that they want to do, right? They want the burst along with the engage and the follow-up, but you can, you know, shield, knock up the ADC, come back. Like, there's so many things you can do. And then on the side of the engage, I mean, Elegy just has all the engage in the world, right? They have the Rakan, they have Seraphine and Xin Zhao to follow up, you know, everybody. And obviously, Lissandra is super strong engage, because it's just a point-and-click ult followed up with so much. So they do have a lot of engage, and I think that on the side of Mint Gaming, it's kind of like they're trying to do the same thing, but I don't know if this comp works as well outside of the fact that Nocturne Orianna, when done right, can be extremely overbearing, especially if you can lock down 2 or 3 members at a time, or, you know, with one ultimate. But Yeah, it seems like both of these teams just want to engage and want to fight, but I do think that the, as you were saying, the sustained damage from the Nocturne Ambessa and Ashe, and a little bit of the Orianna does kind of out DPS Elegy. The problem, or the question is going to be like, if Elegy catches somebody out, are they going to be able to burn down 2 or 3 members at a time before MGA can like get their footing? So I think whoever pulls the trigger first and actually gets a successful follow-up from their team is probably going to be the one that wins this.
Yeah, and it could be the uncomfort of just dealing with the Seraphine in the carry position again. That might just be this edge that Elegy's looking for to try and push ahead in this game. It's not terrible in terms of their damage. If they meet up as a 4 or as a full 5 at these dragons, they're going to be really strong. I really see this as a team comp that's looking to have like those 24, 22-minute souls, really hit the ground running and just try and use the pressure of having a Seraphine that can AFK wave clear and unlock this Rakan a little bit sooner than an Ashe can in terms of the Nautilus. The Ashe is almost always going to be under threat up until level 9, up until 1 item, and she's going to be safe under the mid tower more specifically, whereas Rakan can kind of just leave the Seraphine once you've got not Lost Chapter. Yeah, Lost Chapter, that's the item. So it's going to be that win con that LG's looking for, is meet up with the Xin Zhao, really push forward in these team fights, and just kind of stay at this clump, because you're going to get punished for being clumped up. Don't get me wrong. You got to watch for that shockwave, got to track that ball here. So that really kind of puts the 2 heroes on this team. I'm looking at Lily Coco, and I'm looking at I Nguyen as well on this Orianna. These are the 2 players to keep your eyes on. Watch these encores, watch this healing on the Empower Ws from the Seraphine to really continue to sustain this LG squad. And for MGA, that pick needs to be fast. It needs to happen now in this moment. And if they can hit that timing, you're going to watch 3 members explode.
Yeah, and I think like in the laning phase, there's going to be a lot of onus on Lily Coco to make sure that she doesn't get caught out by this Nautilus, right? Like if Rakan gets caught out, he can get like whatever. But if she gets caught and then she has to burn a flash, and then she's down that summoner spell, and then there's just a follow up, like Ashe is going to be able to like just chase you down like over and over and over again if you fall behind. So I think that there is a huge it can't be understated how important it is that she does not get caught out by this Nautilus and is able to maintain the distance and then try to take advantage of Soar Emperor if they overextend on the Nautilus, because between Rakan and Seraphine, they can do a lot of damage, and then after a while, they have their own kind of built-in sustain, so if they can take like extended trades without dying, then they kind of have the advantage there. As far as the mid lane and everything else is concerned, we the Lissandra into the Orianna, 2 strong control mages with great team fight potential in the end. So I am excited to see this one play out a little bit as Nguyen and the Lord are going to trade a little bit here. Before First Blood happens, Halfling, what is your prediction for this game 1 coming up? Elegy versus MGA, win and you're in. How we feeling?
I think I like the team fighting better from LG. I can see MGA having more win cons, but the very obvious like late game win con of the team fighting coming in from Elegy is in my opinion much stronger. So I'd like to favor that, but already seeing Witch Hat Black Mass off to a great start, already seeing the positioning come through from Soar Emperor on this Nautilus really does make me feel pretty comfortable to just kind of fall back on I could call it the textbook of League of like, yeah, this is a League of Legends comp that I will see in 95% of my games. So I'm gonna say Mint Gaming's got this, and they're gonna keep their playoff hopes alive.
Okay, yeah, I mean, I can see that, but I do agree with you. MGA, Witch Hat definitely getting the cheeky steal in the beginning. If Xin Zhao, they don't see the Nocturne on the red side, so they know that he either started blue. If he pats all the way down and gets to the point where he sees his Raptors gone, this could be a huge boon for Witch Hat on here. And if the Nocturne gets ahead of the Xin Zhao, if they can get ahead and stay ahead, that's one of those matchups where you just never feel like you ever caught up on the Xin Zhao. Now, team fights and everything else and a couple of resets or maybe a good shutdown can change that as we're getting a little bit going in.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage onto the Ashe already. Get reminded just how much it hurts to get caught out as this Ashe. You have to respect the Seraphine damage. Even this early on, it's empowered early on with the high notes. It does extra damage when you're low HP. Everyone kind of forgets about that a little bit from the support. And it's often that first ability max, so it's going to be hurting even more, even faster.
Yeah, it is, and one of the other things too is that, you know, with Mr. Suarez going in on this Rakan is like you're actually going to be able to kind of guarantee if Rakan hits his knockup, you're going to be able to guarantee going, you know, with your E and then getting your high note Q off afterwards. But yeah, that's definitely something where you're like, oh, his cleanse and his flash is already popped. Like we might be able to take advantage of this. Xin Xiao, get down here, especially since you have such a quick reset with the fact that your entire bot lane was stolen from you.
I don't like Zins when you get in the spot and you don't try and force something, but yeah, looking across the map, where do you go? You can't go mid lane, can't really go bot lane. They're pushing away from you, and you're looking at top. I'm on the other side of the map. I can't open there. Nocturne's got the wards already, so you know, continuing hats off for Witch Hat Black Mass. You know, I talked about watch the Orianna, watch the Seraphine. It always kind of feels like it's the jungle show for Olympus. The better jungler will almost always be able to put their team in a good enough spot to carry. Not quite enough to, you know, get them over the finish line, but that's the nature of the role. You get your team you get the horse to the river, you give them a bucket, it's full of water, and they just got to drink it. And it looks like MGA is doing that pretty well here, but the Garen continuing to just stand in the face, and now you're going to get punished, has to flash away, a couple more ticks, and the Ignite can't get away. Aspect's going to fall for the first blood over to Odo Jiro.
Yeah, and that's just the Ignite. Like, how many times I think every single game last week we saw one Ignite end up getting either the first blood or the first kill in the lane, and for some reason, just nobody's is respecting it as much. And I know that you and I have had this conversation, so we'll hit to this quick because there's a lot of health lost with a certain item here, and it's the Doran's bow instead of the Doran's blade. As a Garen, I like the Doran's shield, but as we see this play develop real quick, we'll get into your thoughts here. As the 5-4 and just the Ignite on top of this is just a little bit too much. The flash is too late, but you and I have had this conversation. The Doran's bow, you're not really a fan of this item. Is that why, or is that just like a bad play turned into
I think it's just the build up of bad plays, because Garen's one of those champions that gets the extra scaling on the judgment, specifically the E with the attack speed. It's lower than it used to be for sure, but it's still more than enough. It's a fine item, and Garen's a champion that's naturally tanky enough that I don't see it as a big enough issue to kind of call it out as like that's the reason why. I think the reason why is he just kind of nothing burger trading into waves constantly and just hitting E and face tanking everything. From the Mbese here is good map movement coming in. They're going to find the Granite Shot on Orianna here. Newen has to flash away. It's followed with the root. You can't go anywhere. Stunned for Affinity, but they can't get the extra dash. It doesn't matter. One last smack from the Rakan. Can't complete it. No, the turret, the heal isn't enough. Newen gets the kill, and now here comes Sore Emperor, able to find that hook, looking for a little bit more to lock down the Lord JK, but they saw Cryptid as well on the wave, dodged away from the winds, become lightning, and here comes Witch Hat Black Mass, able to force away the Lissandra, but not as lucky for the Zing, gonna get ran down, trying to flash away, able to break the Fear. Hook landed, they weren't ready for that on the side of MGA, but they still make it out with a win.
They do, and they get away with a free dragon off of the back of that play too. And this is just your perfect example of trying to be the good guy and trade over the kill. Mr. Suarez did have an opportunity to just kind of kill the Orianna, or at least get them super low. It looked like they were trying to trade the kill over. Also, Cryptic Clown did have flash, was going to be able to just get in there and guarantee that kill. I think that they both overestimated how much damage they did to the Orianna and like what the kill threat actually was. So they never actually made it to the threshold. And Mr. Suarez, unfortunately, like the decision making, you saw it there as
another death? Maybe?
Potentially.
Potentially? To the minions? No?
No,
Garen.
it looks like Garen's going to be able to get away with this for...
No,
they do have an
back
Ignite,
bot.
yeah.
We'll go back top here in a couple seconds, because we just got to watch Cryptid get invaded on their red buff, trying to get some help. Paranoid's going to get popped now, looking to make a crunch here. Top side, that's the Garen finally falling. Ignite was a little disrespectful. It's Lord JK getting ran down, a double kill there for Witch Hat Black Mass. One more root here. Sore Emperor is proving their worth, finds a hook kill. and Mr. Soares has to flash over the wall to get away. It's MGA across the map.
Yeah, it definitely is, and we saw it kind of too. Like, you don't want to give up that huge, wave up in the top lane. But we saw once the Ado Heroes, I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry. On the Ambessa, like as soon as we saw like the ignite had come up, we're like, oh yeah, there's gonna be a dead Garen here in a second. Like they're just going to ignite, like maybe even flash, and I think that's kind of what they did there. As we are going to see this here, he does end up hitting 6, but didn't want to give this away. Yeah, just a walk up and an ignite once the W is down. That's all you can really do. Happily enjoying that show.
Just reset, man. It's
Yeah.
okay. You're gonna die at the wave. You have the Ambessa ignite cooldown because you were the one that died to it. I don't know, just complete disrespect from Aspect and Noxus. I guess, you know, comes with the territory, comes with the name. You're on the wrong champion. Maybe you're a little uncomfortable, so going down 0-2 though on the Garen into Ambessa just doesn't feel great. This is supposed to be a matchup where you're not necessarily hard winning, but you should be pretty comfortable in this.
Yeah, and we are going to get a little bit of a big roam up here from the mid, but a lot of pings coming out. I don't know if they saw them on wards here, but it does look like they're going to try to get onto the backside of this play here, as it does look like they were not spotted, but I guess just you don't see anybody. And the spider senses started tingling as Ambessa was smart enough to back off there. And so we are, getting a good little, a little bit of a, I guess, a good shift coming over from Elegy. Yeah, they brought everything up. Well, I think the Ashe is the only. Yeah, the Ashe was the only one that came down. So they tried to put all their eggs into that cart there. Didn't actually work out, as Xin Xiao is now going to give up the Void Grubs for a chance at this, as the bot lane also.
They have to make that play work bot. Lily Coco, everything's going to go wide for them, holding on to the Encore. I get it. You're trying to make sure that, everything's going to work out well, but look at it here. Down in the mid, MGA is just showing exactly how you're supposed to do a pick comp like this. Burn everything, use every ability to make the play work, figure it out later.
Yeah, and like you said, they just showed you exactly what Elegy kind of wants to do. You have to go all in, and it goes back to that mid lane play where they should have had Nguyen on the Orianna. They should have, killed her there, but they just weren't able to get it because they just didn't go all in. You can't be picky about who you're giving the kills over to, about who you're doing what with. You just have to push it, and like you said, MGA doing a great job of showcasing how to play one of these compositions, as Elegy, who have the probably easier / better comp to pull this off with, are actually just kind of on the back foot the entire time. And you said it earlier, Soar Emperor doing such a great job on this Nautilus, finding every single hook that they need, and just having great placement and great decision making on his side to make sure that they're actually finishing off these plays.
They're staying active and they're keeping to the tempo of the game as well, which I really do like to see. But kind of looking across the map, we've got 55 seconds here before the next dragon. I don't really think Elegy can contest this personally. And in that mind, do you see like another play on the map, or do you think it's this pick bot here? If at all.
Well, they might be able to get in here on this. The Ashe Hour is going to stop that, but
never mind. Yeah, looking for more. They're just going to find it. Actually, straight to the Ashe. It's a straight pass. So, hey, they did find the play. Didn't even give you time to talk about it, but it looked good.
Yeah, I mean, we tell them to just push all your buttons now, and that's exactly what they do. So good job by Elegy listening to us here, as now they might get caught out here. On the backside here. I mean, there's just a lot going here. I think that that might be enough for them to be able to take this dragon. I thought maybe even having Garen come down and try to make this like a 5v4 and just kind of concede the top lane finally, because I think at this point all you're going to do as Aspect of Noxus on this Garen is probably just give up a lot of pressure for nothing, and she's probably going to kill you anyways, right? So
oh, wait, they found the hook. Soar is going to go very deep. Got the call from up top with the Ashe, trying to find extra damage, but they don't quite have it in the tank yet, and the Rakan running rampant with the quickness now. Mr. Soar is getting pelted down. They couldn't find the Ashe, and MGA are turning the fight. Encore a little late, and Lily Coco getting ran out. It's a double kill for Nguyen. Witch Hat Black Mass on a rampage. MGA win it again.
Well, one thing that is going to happen when you push all of your buttons all at once is you're not going to have them for the next one, right? So outside of the Lissandra ultimate, which she was kind of caught out for that, they didn't have anything. Yeah, and so
they had everything else. They just didn't press it in time.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Like it just seems like maybe that goes back to the sustained damage question that we had earlier on during draft. Is like, do they have enough sustained damage? If they don't, MGA definitely do with the Ashe because they were able to just free fire from the backside there, like over and over and over again. So maybe just a little bit too deep for Elegy. They didn't get a chance to go back after making their play bot. They kind of just sort of like loitered around, and so maybe that's part of it where they just didn't have enough money to spend on some items so that they could actually take that fight now. So now with everybody having back tier and this Orianna, a quiet 304, I would say the biggest play of the game right now is when they survived the 3-man sort of dive over by their mid lane, is now just completely unhinged here and has the Ludens completed, is backing for another item upgrade, is going to get the Lucidity upgrade here. And now Lissandra, Lord is doing a lot of things, and one of them being trying to get as much as they can here. But
very high pressure play in their minds. They need this to work, and they're going to burn that prison already, but Aspect and Noxus is just getting cut down on accident. Ooh. Barely able to make it away. A couple more minion shots would have killed. It's 14 HP for Aspect and Noxus. Otojiro very comfortable in here, but they're going to look for a crossbat play. Arrow's going to go a little wide. Quickness pop. Here comes the Paranoid straight out of the Rakan's backside. They're trying to buy some time with the Crescent Guard, but what time are you buying when it's a double kill in the back line? Newen going to go on a rampage to finish that one up. It's continuing to just be MGA.
Yeah, I did, and like the arrow went wide, but the Ori ball did not, and the Nocturnal did not on the backside there too. So you have a 603 now. I think it was 403 or the 401 before that play. This Nocturne is absolutely insane right now. Witch Hat has basically put the carry pants on, and he did exactly what you said the junglers need to do, especially here in Olympus, which is put your team in a position to win. They have completely done that in the early game here alongside with Sora Emperor, and now the onus is going to be on the rest of the team. You have a super fed Ori, you have a decently farmed Ashe on here, and you have a top lane who is won basically all on their own. So the recipe is here for MGA to take this game one. They need to make sure that they don't overstep like Elegy did after they made a play. They need to make sure that they don't just kind of concede this lead and just make bad play after bad play and just give Elegy time to come back into this game. And they need to just put their the boots on the throat kind of deal, where they just close this game out. This needs to be like a nice, succinct 22-23 minute victory for Elegy, for MGA. And if that happens, they can take this momentum easily into game 2.
It's a little bit of a waiting room right now. 7,000 gold lead advantage here for MGA, kind of checking in at, hey, here are the people that we wanted to win. And Newen, yeah, you mentioned it, already got that Ludens off just the freak accident from Mr. Soares taking that extra tower shot, and they've just ran with that lead, like you mentioned. And Lily Coco not having the best game, maybe holding on to the ultimates a little too much. But at the same time, I don't even know if that's their fault. You're kind of looking across the map, and it's like, well, top lane was already losing before I could do anything. Lord JK couldn't even get unlocked before there was problems in the lane from the roams. It just kind of, the early game plan they had in mind really fell apart. I think I mentioned, oh, here's another play. This is just going to go disastrous for them. Can they even get one out? Here comes the Encore, trying to save what they can, but the root, the lockdown, the hooks, everything going on to Mr. Soares. Able to get the knock over the tower. The Ash overextended. It's a shutdown picked up by Cryptid. Looking for a little bit more. Fear is going to get landed, but they found the knock up first. Crescent Guard blocks a lot of damage. Another winds become landing. It's a shutdown claimed. Double kill, and officially looking for a little more, and they're not going to keep going, but some breathing room.
I mean, breathing room is one thing. You just sort of said, hey, here's all our shutdown gold. Do you want this? As Lord JK is going to try to catch over Hydro in here. Ashe has to be careful. They do have the cleanse for the ult, but you will not be able to cleanse the damage that comes out of it. So, Lord creeping up here. Okay, he finally does the smart thing here. He is backing. He's trying to keep the attention here. But yeah, the great job by Elegy and Lily and Mr. Sora is just buying just enough time for the Xin Zhao to come back through there. And you said like they're holding on to their encores too much. I think part of it is that they're waiting for the good setup, right? And when you're playing a champion like Seraphine and you're playing along with the Xin Zhao, with Lissandra, with Rakan, like you want that setup to guarantee that you're hitting everything that you intend to, and you want to like extend the encore on. So I think that they've just been waiting for that, but like you said, maybe they're waiting for it a little bit too much. It hasn't really landed the way you wanted it to until that play. And like I said, bought just enough time for them to survive for Cryptic Clown, and now Xin Zhao, sitting on 2 items, has kind of caught back up a little bit to the Nocturne, and we do know like late game, like the Xin Zhao is who you want in your pocket, not the Nocturne, unless somebody is going to just get caught out.
Yeah. No comment.
Yeah,
farming mid against a Nocturne with no vision on them before an objective is just a cardinal sin anywhere but Platinum. I gotta be super honest. They're trying to make the best of this play as they can. Crusaders gonna get popped in the backline with the quickness. Can't quite get the dash. The CC's too long for Cryptid. Lived for a long time. This could have been great. Sora's gonna go a little bit face plant there, as now Lord JK's just gotta get away. I was about to say, hey, maybe you guys can kind of calm down, look for a second play, because this dragon's not really realistic. Yes, your Xin Zhao is strong, but you kind of just can't beat the damage that's going to be coming out of Hydrone, whatever. With the Hex Optics and the PD finished up this early on in the game, that's a ton of damage coming out of this Ashe. On top of the peeling from the Nautilus, the Orianna is going to be strong as well, and the Nocturne has already been a problem since minute 1.
Yeah, he is. And Aspect is going in. Let's go.
Going in. Tried to close the distance, but doesn't have the item finished up. Doesn't quite matter. Outplayed. Single button pressed, and exactly what you're looking for the result. So Aspect making good usage of that teleport.
Yeah, you know what they say, if you can't win your lane, just go somewhere else and make a play there, and that's exactly what he did. Like that's like textbook. I'm losing. I don't know what to do. Here's an opening. So I really like that play from Aspect. I think that was a great I don't know if that was a solo call or whatever, but back to what you were saying earlier about this, like not only do you have the Nocturne who's like super fed and the Ashe or whatever, but like these are also global engages, right? And so the big difference between Elegy and MGA right now is that they have global engages that they can just rely on. So anytime Lily Coco is out by themselves with no Sora's around them, no Lord BK or JK to kind of back them up, you are going to get either Ashe ulted or Nocturne ulted. And the further ahead that MGA gets, the more effective that play becomes. And at some point, they're going to be able to potentially even punish the Garen or the Rakan or even Lissandra if they can catch them out in time. So I really like the call from that, and I like the way that they're actually using their comp, the way that it's designed, especially when you're playing from ahead. But it is something that definitely can, once everything's expended, kind of fall back to like, okay, like we shot our shot, we didn't get it, what can we do? Where I feel like Elegies, even though they have strong engage, like their comp is a little bit better for the follow-up. When things go awry for MGA, you have Cryptic Clown, you have Lord BK, you have everything else that can kind of get back on top and make the second part of the play more successful. And I feel like they did a good job of that once. They need to do it a couple more times to get back into this game.
Yeah, they've got a little bit more work to do. I kind of harken back to the draft of, yeah, it's just a pick comp. You've got a Lissandra, you've got a Xin Zhao. It's a pick comp. You do... Unfortunately, your picks are quite difficult and able to press tab, so they both bought Merc Treads. You can see it on Otogiro as well. Paranoid's going to build the mid lane. Aspect's just going to get dove. Good night, Sweet Prince. As this is a killing spree for Otogiro under their own tower. Now looking to make a play on the Ashe mid lane. You saw immediately on that map how quickly Hydrone was able to back off. It's good comms.
Yeah, extremely good. That's one of those, hey, I'm going in. Everybody else on the team that is not...
in the play.
Oh gosh.
Oh no. Swords, that's the same spot.
It's gonna have nightmares of mid tower. Oh yeah, that's extremely unfortunate. You are and you're giving up this tier 2 in the top lane too.
And tier 1 bot lane, and I think they're already gone. But the farm for Orianna is going to be big. It's just, you know, the brick. There's a brick pile in front of us, and Elegy's like, yeah, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat this brick. I'm going to try my best to make this Ashe play work. And, I mean, I guess you got Flash, which is pretty good if you can use it, and they have not demonstrated that quite yet. So I don't have confidence in that.
No, yeah, man,
I'm bad cop today.
There was extremely good comms from the side of MGA. Unfortunately, the comms from ELC just weren't there, right? And so you get the Ashe to back off. And as I was saying, is that like if you're not Nocturne and you're not along the play of the dive, then you just back off, and that's exactly what they did, and it worked out perfectly. And then you get Elegy to just kind of like overcommit to that Ashe, and then caught up behind the mid tower. And to be fair, they did eventually get the mid tower, so they do have that. So hopefully, Mr. Suarez will not have to deal with that tier 1 mid tower for the rest of this game. Well, not hopefully, he doesn't. So there's a positive in that, right?
Yeah. I'm here to glaze supports sometimes, because they silently do really good work. Soar Emperor saw that the Orianna was pushing bot side. Newen was at the tier 2, hitting it with a couple automax, realized, yeah, this is kind of scary. We don't have mid prio. Soar was already had wards down on that red buff, on that Raptor camp, so they were entirely safe. There's no cross maps that Elegy can really provide. The best thing that they've got is the Lissandra. So very good coverage. It's allowing Newen to get this far ahead. Look at them. They're going to start threatening that tier 2. They can hit this Baron. MGA have set themselves up for a phenomenal play.
Yeah, they have. And now you're going to have Newen on the bot side, but this Baron is also kind of going down as the Paranoia is going to come out. And the Ashe Arrow comes up too.
And the Ashe Arrow through deep for which hat Black Mass looking for a little bit more. Encore is going to find a lot of damage here, and they've seconded off Otojiro. You've got a 1v9 in the backside here. Aspect and they're trying to do the best they can with the judgment call, able to get true.
No way.
It's guilty. No way for Elegy. They're going to get their team fight comp to the team fights, and they're looking beautiful while doing it. Otojiro, what can you do? Trying to stay alive, but you are guilty as well. It's a triple kill for Newen, but the rest of MGA have fallen. And they might find more. JK wants to keep going. Do you want to challenge Newen? They've got a lot to... Yeah, man, that's what you get for challenging an Orianna. Aspect's got to get close. Found the Stride Breaker and not going to be able to get it done. It's a double kill for Newen to finish it off. It's a 4 for 5 ace for MGA.
Automatic MVP. The taunt button for Nguyen here on this Orianna has completely, like, there is no need for them to kind of do that. Like, you're 1Q, both of them were 1Q, even a QW away from dying. Like, he could have sneezed on his keyboard and accidentally hit the button and killed them both. So I don't like the backside of that play, but up until that point, Elegy finally found what happens if they can separate the team and get them to use all their stuff and not get exactly what they want. The prio targets didn't really go down. Cryptic Clown was able to kind of block the Ashe Arrow. Okay.
Attempt. They're going to lose the Soul. Swords is pretty deep here. They're going to pop the Paranoia as well, trying to section off what they can from Elegy. It's not a bad trade here. Baron for Soul. They found 2 kills as well. No Baron was even taken either. So a good play from Elegy and just desperation for the Soul. And I mean, I get it. Like we can't be mad at the choice and at the decision, but the fallout's still there.
Yeah, it is, and now this is going to be free for MGA, and I think at this point now it's the point of the game where I like to just say it's officially MGA's game to lose. We'll see. It was a very close. So here's where we get the Paranoia and the Arrow. They don't actually get the kill, and Aspect is coming around on the backside here. Great ultimate from Lily Coco, and then there's just like he just gets into the back, and it's Garen things. Like he's been doing this since, you know, season 1 in this game, where if he could get to this point, even though he's behind, it's just so strong. And right here is where I would have liked to have seen. You have the Oriole kind of go off. Nguyen is on the backside, gets 2 kills. Here's where I say, okay, we made the play happen. Let's go reset. Aspect obviously is going to have some items because they got 2 kills here. Like, but instead he thought he could be able to get them with the silence, but the silence just wasn't long enough, and This Orianna is just extremely strong now, and even got more kills over on that Dragonflame too. So now a 12-1-8 with the death cap in their pocket. It's 54 to 45,000 gold. Like, this is just not going the way of Elegy, and the biggest thing that you can hope if you're Elegy is that you don't let this momentum come into game 2. Also, the Nexus turrets or the tier 3 turrets and the inhibitors are still up. So they are still kind of in this game. This can be thrown. They can overextend, especially if they hit an Ash Arrow and then follow it up with a bad play. Or
top side on the Otojiro. They've got a lot of lockdown here, but they've ran out of those cooldowns, so not able to keep that lockdown. And I do like that. Oh, excuse me. What we saw from that team fight as well. We saw like the makings of this comp from Elegy. What can be. It was a little bit of a messy turn from MGA. The TP was a little bit far away, so they couldn't quite capitalize on it. They haven't at all used the Knockwave combo, mind you, the Orianna Nocturne combo that we drafted for, by the way. Regardless, still fine. Like, it still worked out in the end, and it was just kind of the sectioning off that happened there, specifically from Cryptid, who had a great performance in that fight. But now looking at this situation you're in, you're on this back foot. You can't really section them off, but you can land that great root. Gonna force the cleanse. Source couldn't close the distance. Now Pop the Quickness a little desperate to try and make this work. Here comes the Paranoia, and they got knocked away, so they couldn't get the Knockwave down. They've got to turn tail and run here. This slow chase from Elegy could happen, but they're too worried. They're too behind.
That's actually the smartest thing that Elegy has done all game. For one, Cryptid Clown with a perfectly timed Zinchao ultimate to just knock the Knockwave, I guess, is away, like for lack of a better term here. But yeah, just knocking that out. It did not end up catching anybody. With that being said, I'm really glad that they didn't push forward and try to overextend that fight, because I do think in the long run they probably lose that. Now that Aspect of Noxus on this Garen does have his Ghost and his Flashback up, I won't mind it as much. I also would have liked to have seen maybe like a Shirelius on Mr. Soares' Rakan, just because it's so strong, as Lord is going to try to get out of here, but we might see an Ash Arrow stop him.
Flash. They tried to dodge that, not able to do it. Great entrance, burn, depth charge as well. They're trying to get to JK as best as possible. Late on the flash, and you're gonna fall. I gotta be so real. You've got to be flashing the abilities.
Yeah, or ulting yourself. Ended up ulting Sore Emperor. I don't know if that was purposeful or not. We did see a little graphic on the screen here that Luminary Esports did end up beating Theory of Everything Quantization, so we do have a potential 4-way tie if MGA can pull this one out. It's not over yet. Both of these are not. Both of these series are obviously not over, but it is something to keep in the back of your mind as we continue going down this path of the MGA versus ELC. So Elegy does need to keep that in mind, that they aren't out if they lose, but like we were talking about in the draft, like, you don't want to go out that way. Like, that's not how you want to limp into the playoffs. So yeah, MGA does seem like they're having a little bit of an issue now trying to close this out, and that's kind of like one of these all-in comps. That's like one of the downsides to it, is that when you get to here and you don't have a strong siege, you don't have strong poke, like, how do you close this out, especially as Cryptid and as Aspect start to get a little bit tankier, and then if we get like a Zhonya's coming out for the Lissandra, like, they're going to be extremely hard to kill. How do you I guess just push forward? Do you just wait for somebody to make a mistake, or is there a way for this comp to really just kind of like get the pick that they want even when everybody else is clumped up?
Find their pick right now, though. You're trying to death push against Ash. I think this is the hard part about looking for picks as the Elegy comp, is you can't against Ash. It's not feasible. She's always gonna have that hawk shot to look here, and as MGA, also a pick comp, mind you, can also look for that as easily. They just have an easier time, and it's really on Cryptid to be very good with those Crescent Guards, but good look with the Comet. Not able to find it either, so back to waiting, I suppose.
Yeah, and Aspect to actually oh my god, that's a lot of damage. That's on a Garen. That damage from Ori just came out there. I'm not going to talk too much because the play is about to develop, but the Edge of Night is
No flash
Not
for
on
Soar. Still able to Hex Flash in. Couldn't quite get a depth charge to get a find. And that's the public execution of Elegy. Their hope is gone. Encore to the backside to look for something. But it's the starting top laner. They've waited so long. Who's going to get cut down? Newen goes legendary. Hydreion does their job on the backside. Lily Coco last alive. And they can't even finish. They're fleeing to get away. It's not even an Elder Dragon. It's the game for MGA. And they're up 1-0. Their playoff hopes are still alive.
Yeah, and just from the get-go, I think that, you know, the top lane going the way that it did, the mismanagement of the dive of the Orianna in the early game just kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. It just seemed to me like Elegy was just a little bit behind on their decision making, and then not just that, but like not that the decisions they were making were bad, but they just didn't have the follow through. They didn't use their comp to its fullest extent. So I don't think that anything they did was extremely super bad. I think the idea was there. I just think that the execution was a little bit too slow, and when you have a composition like they had, you have to execute it, and if you're not going to execute it really well, then then that's exactly what's going to happen. And MGA on the other side, Mint Gaming, like kudos, because that's how you want to run that comp. Like they both picked very similar comps, and MGA just ran it the way that you're supposed to, and Elegy just never had a chance to like really catch back up or get themselves back into the game. I saw a couple little team fights where I actually thought that Elegy played it cleaner, but
how do you catch up to that Orianna?
Yeah,
you look at that 13-1, it's like, man, how do you catch up to that? I like the idea from Elegy to kind of be very specific. It's a comp where you want to be at that soul fight at 20 minutes, you know, at that 20, basically reverse the positions, but it's maybe like 4 or 5 kills in its entirety, and you are dictating the pace, and you're playing with vision super well based on the fact that your Rakan can roam. They were never able to get that unlocked. Soar was always on top of that. Witch Hat Black Mass was already on top of the vision game before their first clear even ended. So it's just Mint Gaming really wanting that win. Desperation, focusing and honing into this very, very specific situation here, and we can even take kind of a look at some of these fights from the game, keep looking at exactly what happened, but
welcome back
in general it was just execution. That's just the interview. Unfortunate High Proton Plat player, you're gonna get zapped out of existence as we're back. Oh, there we go. But it's these fights, the execution almost there from Elegy. It almost worked on that south side. It was exactly what they wanted, but then they separate like this. They get away from their clump. They try and make their own individual plays, and I like the idea behind it, but it's on top of each other. They're stacking their CCs. They're stacking their healing. That's what was good.
Yeah, and this right here is where it just kind of goes down, like where you're just like, oh, I just want this really badly, but this Orianna is so fed right now. This is where she hits 10 kills right here onto this Garen, and like that is it. But like you said, like the execution of the team fight was there, you know, and then you get here, and obviously you don't want them to get soul. If you can prolong the soul at this point, then I think that you can add an extra 3 or 4 minutes into the game and you can get the shot, but just 48.
Soar.
48.
Soar.
Yeah. And
Soar again, just locking the Xin out of the pit. 48, 100%, but if the Nautilus is making sure you're not in range, what can you do? You know, like how can you make it work here? And then this is just the nail in the coffin. You have this opportunity as Elegy to really group up and make the play that you want. But I feel like they're so focused. Goodbye again. Hello, Proton Plat player. Welcome back here into the fight. And you can really tell they want this, but they don't. I don't think they were very confident in their front to backing, and that makes sense. It's at this point in the game, you're too far behind. You can't really give the play to Mint Gaming that they want in your front to back. That just means you're too far behind. So an unfortunate case for Elegy. Now, last shoutouts. Elysium GG's is still going on with their series. That's the Unks that Fel and Romeo love so much. So go check out Elysium GG's while we're heading to a short break. But keep us open in that side monitor. We'll be back with Game 2. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Here, we got
I
game
missed
2 coming
transitions.
underway. You missed transition.
Missed transition.
See, but it doesn't say Olympus, so it's not the right one. We don't. Then I don't have to say every time this is Olympus, not Vanquisher, Immortal, whatever it says. Who cares? We had a fun match between MGA and Elegy from last game. Little sparks of what we wanted to see from Elegy, especially with a comp like that, but couldn't quite get over the hole that they dug for themselves. So naturally, they've got a lot to do here. MGA 2-0 is virtually guaranteeing them for playoffs. If they get this, they'll have head-to-head on Elegy. They'll have even game score. Elegy 2-1, they're also guaranteed for playoffs. So Elegy has the hole to dig out, and MGA, they can't get swept up in this wave.
Right, and I think when you're coming into game 1, especially for Mint Gaming, you're thinking, okay, we just got to get one. If we don't, screw it, like whatever. Like all the pressure is on Elegy, and I think that maybe that was part of the reason that they just didn't play as well as I had expected, because I think that their comp was we both talked about it, but I liked their comp better than MGA's, at least on the side of like after you blow everything, you have a little bit extra to kind of go with the Garen, with the Xin Shao. And I think that maybe the nerves, maybe something like that. So we are going to get a lane swap here as the graphics turn. But yeah, they like the whole. We need to win 2 in a row now, I think kind of puts even more pressure on Elegy. So we need to make sure, hopefully they are not, even more tight, because I'd like to see them play a little bit looser and have maybe a little bit of fun with it, as we are going to get a Pantheon, which I love this champion. I wish that I could play him to like a super high level, because there seems to be a lot of I don't understand, because I don't win a lot with him, but I do really enjoy him, and I think that's great. But it goes back to MGA getting another global engage here, so it looks like they're going to try to do the same thing. What I'd like to see with Elegy is, oh my god, is we're going to get a Tristana. If that's a bot lane Pantheon Tristana, there better be a lot of protection for this MF. But yeah, we get into this like. I'd like to see Elegy kind of answer this with as it's going to be, okay, so a Leona Tristana bot for MGA. I want to see them do something where we can put Lily Coco into a position where they can kind of win. Like, I would have liked to have seen the MF with, I don't think that's right, because you can't ban and pick Thresh. But I'd like to see where they can, get some good Misfortune ultimates on the backside here as from the outside. I would have liked to have seen.
I just picked up on it.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a an MF pick for Lily in the last game instead of the Seraphine, because I think that especially with their composition, that would have been a much better pick for them, just because of the way that their comp was kind of going. I understand the Seraphine. Maybe you wanted to get the Seraphine Ashe, or you were kind of forcing that onto them as the B1 pick. But I didn't super like the Seraphine as the APC. The MF I do kind of like. As we do get into the rest of the bans, I spent way too much time on that. But we are going to get Malzahar and J4 banned out from Mint, and then Elegy is going to ban out the Wukong and the Victor. So interesting so far.
So that must be because Otojiro has games. I've looked at the players, unfortunately I didn't have time. So maybe Otojiro has some Pantheon games top and they're looking to play that, but no, they're pushing this to the jungle. So this Wukong ban is kind of wasted, kind of not. You mentioned like, yeah, I want Pantheon support. I hate Pantheon support now. This champion is so unlocked in the jungle, and you look at the squad that MGA has assembled here. There is no other option but forward. They shoot dissenters in this team comp. They're going to just push down your throat, and that leaves you open. Oh, that's poor Romeo's gonna have a great time with the smolder stacks, huh? Anyway, Poppy has a phenomenal job this game. All 4 members of MGA gets blocked up with the steadfast presence. So it's going to be a very, very comfortable game for this Poppy. It's going to be a very, very comfortable game for this Vigar as well. You can stop every engage, but not early on.
No, early on,
a little bit of period.
Early on is the pressure, and if MGA can start this game off like they did last time, then great for them. I do like the set into the Scion. I don't know if that was Otohiro trying to flex the Pantheon, and then if they pick something which I love, I mean Pantheon into Scion isn't terrible either, but the set into the Scion, like he's naturally just going to get health, right? Because you have to level up your W at some point. So dropping him into the team is going to be huge if he can get it. But with the Poppy, with the Veigar, I like that they actually countered the picks of MGA as they came up. The only thing is that Nguyen on this oh my gosh, Aurora.
There you go.
If they get ahead, they're gonna be able to kind of like spank this Veigar pretty hard, right? And like, there's so many ways that they can kind of get around,
That's the way to put it.
the baby cage and stuff like that. You get ahead on this Aurora, and everybody on Elegy is going to be crying about it. And which Black Mask, we've already seen him with a good engaged jungler, is able to just add so much agency to his teaming and get everybody fed, with the exception of O'Hero on the top lane, but they got themselves fed. So the idea is there for MGA, but I do really like Elegy's counter picks to every single thing that MGA has done. You have the Thresh to get MF out. You have the Veigar to just put up a cage around them. You have Poppy to stop all of the dashes. So there is a lot to like about this Elegy draft this time around.
Yeah, and it's a very similar case from last game for MGA that they saw with the Elegy comp. Elegy comp, I was like, yeah, they need to get on top of these dragons. They need to stay kind of in the they need to stay in the driver's seat of this game, and they need to make sure that they're the one directing, which dragon are we contesting, which herald are we contesting, is it Grubs now? Now MGA, they've got to do that. If you fall behind, if you let the Poppy Veigar Scion team pick when objectives are happening, you're cooked. You're not going to be able to get back in the seat. Poppy and Leona's not going to have an engaged threat against Poppy unless you just throw a raw Solar Flare out. Now, mind you, not a terrible decision at all. A very great long-range engage ult. But at the same time, that's kind of all you've got at that engage range. At that actual range, because you're gonna Grand Starfall as Pantheon and stops Steadfast Presence, Baby Cage. Scion's already out of there because the champion's fast. Thresh can just pop box. Elite Coco can use Make It Rain. So MGA have to stay ahead of this game. They have to make sure that they're pressuring everything. And I really do kind of look back. I looked at the mid lane last time. I just look at the 2v2 mid jungle. There's a ton of pressure on. We had not Witch Hat. Is it Meme Page? This time with the swap. That's at least who's listed. It's probably someone else. Apologies for that.
I think they may have actually had a swap because the Xin Chao was Circus last time. So now they have Lord JK who's on the mid, and the only name change that's here is the Poppy. So should be right. Maybe they had a sub at the end. We'll find out from production.
We'll find out. Cryptid. Okay, so it is Cryptid. Still up, so just the name on the sheet. Sorry guys, it's fine. We can move on. We can look past it. But it's a lot of pressure. Who Cryptid did have a great game on the Xin, but now you're on the Poppy. You are gonna feel super pressured to go AD Poppy this game. No doubt in my mind. I know every Emerald Diamond jungler ever. They're gonna pick this Poppy. They're like, yeah, I'm building Thunder Sky. I'm rushing it. I get Caulfield's on first back row to kill him. Like 100%. And so that means 2v2 is important. You're 2v2ing Aurora, as I've always mentioned, the queen of short trades, and Pantheon, the guy that has a point and click 1.5 second stun. It's kind of a hard 2v2, man. Whoever wins that is just going to run this game.
With a PTA follow-up if he wants to go, for his hard as well. But I would expect maybe he goes dials a little bit back. He has damage everywhere else, but you never know. I mean, if he gets ahead, it's just assassinate everybody. I think that Cryptid was one of the bright spots, and I think that after laning phase aspect of Noxus was also a very big bright spot for ELC. When they got into the team fights, they were able to kind of get what they wanted out of that. I do kind of feel like in this game, though, it just automatically kind of works. And if he can resist going just straight AD Poppy, maybe an Eclipse or something, I don't know. But if you can go tanky, like go tanky and just let your MF and your Veigar just scale into everything that you need. And then on the backside of these dragons, these late game dragons should 1000% go to Elegy if they have their positioning properly. If Lily can sit there unabated and and not get touched by out of hero or jumped on by Witch Black Mass. So there is a huge win con, I think, for Elegy, and I think that their comp is a lot better to play into what Mid Gaming tried to do. That being said, Tristana, Leona, you get jumped on by them and you don't have anything. Yeah, you're just dead. Like Tristana is one of the most frustrating ADCs to play against if they get ahead and if you misstep or overstep, which after game 1, I wouldn't fault anybody who thinks that Elegy is going to, put themselves into a position for that, because they kind of did. They kind of got caught out a lot, knowing what composition they had to deal with. And so that can lend itself as well to something that maybe it's in their head a little bit, maybe this, maybe that. I don't want to see Elegy get caught out as much as they did in that last game. And MGA,
pressure's not on. The pressure is really only on that mid jungle. That's it for Elegy. Everyone else, just chill. Especially for aspect of Noxus here, dealing with Odo Hero. Much better name, by the way, than Odo Jiro. I'm so sorry if I was mispronouncing that all day. But you're dealing with that ghost set here, which, as oppressive as a Darius, as oppressive as any other level 1 champion they're gonna have to deal with here, and you still could trade back pretty well as the Scion. It's not bad, but at the same time, you're gonna get pressured off for so long. You're gonna deal with that max HP set, and it's gonna be tough.
Yeah, it definitely is. But he did end up going Grasp on the Scion, which thank God he didn't go the it's not Phase Rush anymore, but whatever they changed that to, that I've been seeing a lot of. Yeah, I don't like it either. It kind of forces you into an AD Scion. I think that tank is going to be much better, just like I think the tank Poppy would be better here, as level 2 is going to go over to the side of Mid Gaming in the beginning. But yeah, once you get your W stacked up into a little bit. Ooh.
Good seeing it. They're going to try and fight the combo here. Bomb on Lily Coco's face. It's going to do a lot of damage, but
it's that level 2 engage.
Yeah, it's that level 2. You need a couple more autos. You need a little bit more. Also, not PTA, importantly. And I think this is a fine lethal tempo Poppy game, but especially with the Q buffs that we've seen come in recently to try and kind of help Tristana up in the bot lane. I don't know how much you want extra attack speed on this champion. I feel like the PTA is such a big specialization that blow up on the level 2, but Cryptid is going to show up. Speaking of level 2, it's a level 3 gank, so close enough. I can count to 3. Maybe going to look for a first blood onto Odo. Hero popped down. Cryptid going to pick up the first blood here. Elegy on the board.
Yeah, and I love that, and it's something that I wanted to. I don't know how I didn't, considering how much I talked pregame, but I did want to kind of get to that where I did want to see, Cryptid on this Poppy get up to the top side and don't let Aspect of Noxus get behind like they did game 1. If you have to force it, didn't have to force it because I think that maybe after the first game, Odo Hero just didn't even have to worry about jungle coming because he never did. So maybe that was something that put him into lulled him into a false sense of security. So I really like that play from them. I think that was a great job. And then I like the press the attack as well on the Tristana, just because you get that down along with the bomb. And
JK's gonna be struggling for any more switch. That was a flash for Flash in the mid lane. So big trade coming out, and Newen can be pretty comfortable. Now JK's still alive though, and farmed pretty well, but you can't get away from the spear. Another flash means that you're gonna die here. Good dodge away from the hook. Lily Coco trying to get away, stunned up, locked down, has to get away from the ignite. Pop the barrier now. Hydrone gonna be scared of the thresh, but doesn't have enough damage to continue it. So a reset force from Lily Coco, and Aspect of Noxus here on the top side. Not quite in a great spot, but we kind of expect it with this matchup.
Yeah, that's definitely strong, and I wouldn't even say that that's a greedy back. Like people get punished for greedy backs, especially in Olympus all the time. I wouldn't even say that was a greedy back from the Lord BK on the Veigar. It's just something that kind of happened, right? And you don't think that the Pantheon's going to be there with his own flash spear. So I kind of I feel bad for him there, but still a good play to be able to get away from the Aurora and get the flash for flash and stay alive. And that's all you kind of want to do as this Veigar is you just want to stack and you want to survive. It'd be cool if you could get ahead, but if you end this laning phase even, you're still happy with that. And so I think he did a great job there. But now you're a flashless Veigar, you have to be careful.
Yep, you're always going to be under constant threat. That means you're going to be calling Cryptid here to show up mid, and Lily Coco playing with a little bit of fire while the Thresh is gone, but it's fine. Able to get away from the Zenith Blade. Looking, though, at Cryptid, feeling very pressured from that early gank. Not a lot of advantage Witch Hat Black Mass was able to buy from the different kind of path choices made by both these junglers, so honestly good on Cryptid to kind of minimize that, as well as have that timer from the Raptors, and you're going to see them probably beeline it straight to their own to make sure that can't get taken away after this reset. But back from the bot lane, more Zenith Blades, more trading with HP used by Sora. They're trying to call Hydron in. They're not buying it at all. So lots of HP here, lots from Sora, even though there's quite a bit of damage on this Tristana, but honestly, I respect it as well, just waiting for the right moment.
Yeah, as make sure nothing happens here. Okay, yeah, and one thing that you can do as the Thresh is you can actually hold your Flay and stop Tristana from being able to jump in here. So, expect to see a little bit of that potentially if you can get those little meta mind games going on as Cryptid is coming back to the top lane here.
They've got the unrelenting assault there. Showstopper brought you to the wrong side. Odo Heroes learned that interaction exists. They'll watch the Haymaker stack up. It's going to pop a lot of damage here. They're trying to manage as best they can, but it's more damage aspect. Nox is has to flash away. Odo Heroes can respond in kind. One more flash. Maybe a little too far away. Cryptid's under the tower. Ooh, Elegy. Not too good at these tower dives. Still able to get away, though.
Yeah, that was super close for both, and I like the fact that Elegy did not overcommit. Again, we talked about this so much in game one. The overcommitting to dead plays and bad plays, you got exactly what you wanted out of that, as now...
Yes, we can overcommit. It's a Flay trying to get away from the baby cage. Witch Hat wants this blue buff, just try to dodge away. JK is going to get those stacks with the ultimate popped off there. So Witch Hat, big mistake, honestly. Uncharacteristic from what we saw game one as well.
It is, but if you notice, there is a red ward inside the brush there for the side of Elegy. So knowing that they were going to be concentrating on the top side for so much, they actually placed a red ward in there. I don't know who did it, but that vision ward is exactly why they saw, and they were able to just kind of break away and go into that. So now you get a kill back onto the Veigar here. So now you're at 60 to 64, and you basically are 1-0 to 0-0. So like a huge play for them, and that is exactly the champion that you want to get that on. I think the only one that I don't even think that you'd be happier if you got that kill onto Lily, onto the MF, than you are with getting that onto Veigar, because that is your late game insurance carry, and it's huge to get them something like that this early on.
Yeah, and it just is a sigh. It's a breather as well when you don't have this flash right now. You were able to actually kill the Pantheon that burned your flash. The Scion trading pattern is patented with just how one-sided it is when you just make a single mistake, as Odo Hero is continuing to do on this set. They aren't able to breathe right now after a lot of these ganks from Cryptid, so great job on them. And kind of, I want to look at this 2v2 that we brought up in the draft as well, and I liked what I saw early on here, but Newen, never mind, tabled because they burned the Solar Flare into Lily Coco. Not quite able to get too far on there. Never mind, it's the bomb. Blow up Lily Coco. Can't go anywhere. Cryptid able to get down to the bot lane, but the Buster Shot keeps them away. Gonna charge up something, maybe, but you can't get close. A little late from the gank onto Cryptid, and Witch Hat gonna take advantage of that. 2v2 conversation. It's on its head now.
Yeah, and that's just hitting, just like they hit level 2 first, they hit level 6 first, and unfortunate for Lily and Sora is they weren't able to kind of answer that. If you were able to get, the Thresh ultimate and just kind of stop them with the box, that would have been good. Now as Aspect, taking some damage here from the set a little bit, but, oh, what?
Missed the rocket jump, and they held on to Steadfast's presence. Still found the push of the wall to stop it, so, good effects. Cleanse, flash, burns. Gank successful, right?
I think anytime that you can get even one, you say even one summoner for basically nothing is a win, and that's a good gank. It's usually the follow-up where you overcommit, which makes it bad. So I like that play. I'll call that a win for Cryptid here. Is now they're going to try to go after this Pantheon as well. I like the pressure that Elegy is putting onto Witch Hat in this game. I think that they're doing a great job. But now Soar Emperor with another Solar Flare is going to catch this out.
Yeah, where's your battle buddy, Lily Coco? You're pushing too far. You're going to pop there. Hydro picking up that kill. Continuing to run a rampage on this Tristana. And, you know, probably could exist alone now. So this Leona should be unlocked.
Yeah, I think that's one of those where you underestimate until it happens to you. You're going to always underestimate the range of the solar flare, right? So I think that's probably what happened there. Is I was gonna say one more Q or W landing on the Nuyen here is probably gonna be dead to the Veigar, but yeah. So I don't think that's gonna happen again. I think they just got a little bit too close and kind of screwed that one up there. But one thing that I would like to see here, as Eda Hero is actually able to get a little bit more damage back on and is able to trade, I want to see Cryptid come back up to the top lane again.
Flash for the tower. They're really trying to make this play work. In between worlds, behind the burst. JK's going to pick up Newen onto the tower. Cryptid found the knockup, looking for a little bit more. Soar's going to flash away. JK's still alive.
Love that champion. God, I love Veigar. Okay, so that is just like the dive is there. I mean, they were what 100 health off of actually getting that to work there, but great job from the Veigar here. As we're going to see this come over here again. As this thing starts to happen here, you are going to get the ultimate from the Pantheon. You have Soar Emperor here as well, so the lockdown is all there. The flash for the flash.
So much sooner.
Yeah, I mean, just good time from BK to kind of get that. The ultimate on the backside there. I think if one more tower shot would have hit Soar Emperor, we probably would have been able to follow that up, but good job from them to not, once again, overcommit, because one half Q from Witch Hat would have been a dead Veigar on the backside of that. So I like the patience that they have this game as compared to the last one.
But I am going to call out a big mistake from Soar, who's been playing super well this series. So,
yes,
like, this is not me beating a dead horse, but you have Flash there. You're in range. You have your Pantheon saying, hey, I'm going to ult on this. You need to just throw that Flash Zenith Blade there. You need to take that 1-for-1, because if the Veigar flashes your Zenith Blade, play's done. Flash for flash, IF Hex flash. Yeah, we burned Witch Hat's ults, but it's kind of during this little bit of dead time, so we can get away with a play like that. But you need to be the one opening these engages. You cannot wait for your Pantheon. You cannot give the Lord JK and the Veigar time to get away, time to set up that cage. This is that timing. This is that snap engage we brought up in the draft. You need to be on top of it, because if you get those little openings for Elegy, they are going to just take space because they're allowed to. They're allowed to breathe. They're allowed to scale.
Yeah, they are. And it's one of those damned if you do, damned if you don't. You think that your Pantheon ult is going to be able to catch the Veigar out, right? So, like, if you don't flash and he gets it deep enough, then you're gonna get the kill. And I think that's probably what they were banking on there. But yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know, I guess at that point it's dealer's choice whether you want to burn that early or, you know, you're still going to burn the Pantheon. And then if you flash that, potentially you don't have it on the backside. If you overcommit, maybe Soar dies there too on the backside of that play too. So, I mean, I guess you'd have to see it from both of them play out. But yeah, I agree. If you can burn it quickly, then maybe your Pantheon doesn't have to do it. I just think that after watching a little bit of this series, especially after game one, you may have a propensity to overcommit to these plays. So maybe
both teams definitely both teams definitely get a little lost in the sauce there to make it work, and I think that's fine. Yeah, and I do agree with that in chat from Frost. The Seraphs first is for safety, is expecting dives, which is great, but means we're going to be a little bit longer on this Veigar scaling. They're going to be super safe, and Soar's going to get spotted out here on this roam. There's nobody close by. Yeah, you've got the Flay, but here comes the rest of the squad. Box burn, going to get eaten up by Hydrone, but I'm just going to get walked down. TP bird from Newen, I guess, to guarantee the play. 20 seconds on the Dragon. You lost your support. Hold up, Elegy. What you cooking?
Yeah, I think that they really wanted this. The dragon and maybe that teleport from Gwyn is just a little bit too early. But I mean the play is there. You want to make sure you guarantee your positioning and everything off on the backside there. So yeah, caught out by for no reason. You didn't have any backup. You didn't have your Poppy. You didn't have anything really in the bank for that. So just a little bit of a maybe misstep for Mr. Suarez as now the play afterwards is going. Yeah,
they desperately want it.
Missed the hook.
Hook's gonna go wide. Cryptic hit position. Yeah, now very late news on this. Thank you, Relics, for keeping me up to date. Just 8:14 my time. Conduit ended up losing game 1 to Syndicate, so that was our first seed in the Group A matchup. So that means specifically the 4-way nightmare tie for our admins is continuing to stay alive. If MGA win this game, a lot of math is going to get done to try and figure out what's going to happen, but they're continuing to sit in this driver's seat, at least comfortably. There's still questions. You're looking at that Vigar, you're looking at that Poppy right now, and you're like, man, this is going to be pretty hard. But
yes,
I don't know. I'm feeling like MGA seem pretty happy with the spot they're in. They've just got to get a little more loose with some of these abilities.
Yeah, I don't know. I have a hard time feeling like, oh, here it is.
Yeah, never mind. I jinxed it?
Flash, Flash coming out. I just think that it's 1,000 gold lead. You're tied on dragons, and you have the grubs, right? And so you're in a little bit of a lead here, just in gold and objectives. But you have 2 stacking champions, right? Like we can't forget about the fact that Scion can continue to stack his health and eventually just get to the point where he is almost like a Mundo Juggernaut, able to just do whatever he wants. And I just 1,000 is not enough, and obviously now that it's going down to 400, I kind of feel like Elegy is more in the driver's seat here than Mint Gaming. I think that they have to make a play here where they can get 1 or 2 kills. Tristana is obviously 3-0, that's huge, but Tristana is also going to be, once he gets 1 or 2 more items, gonna be a Q ult away from dying every single time that Lord JK wants to get in range of him.
Lord JK is a little scary, but still not, still that Seraph, still that defensive. There is the Scion conundrum here that is definitely going to be something that we have to address later, and JK is just going to pick up a killing spree. Hydrone definitely decided that they thought they could solo kill a mid laner that they're 2 levels up. Sometimes AD carries just do this, where they forget that 2 levels genuinely matters. Maybe they try to communicate with Soar, like, hey, pop your ultimate, but I mean, you gotta like tell them beforehand, like, hey, if Vigar walks up, we gotta look for this here. But I don't know, 80 carries be 80 carries, so
you definitely need your support to make that play, to start that play off. And I mean, right after I say he's gonna get to a point where he can just Q ult you and kill you. Well, you were kind of already there because you started that fight at 4/5 health, and now Lily Coco is going to be able to catch up a little bit in the farm department, get a plate here, and you give Vagar 3 more stacks. So this is not what you wanted from Hydrio. They played that first game extremely clean, really, really well, and I like this from Lily. As soon as they see the Leona now, they are not going to get caught out with another solar flare. Make it rain, walk away, and then go there. So we do have 670 stacks on the Scion, which I know that's not a ton, but it is enough that they are going to have like an extra health bars now. The hook does connect, but now you have no flash and you have no cleanse on this Tristana. You're basically on the back foot here, no?
You're out. Hydrone definitely tossed away a ton of the tempo that MGA had. They're going to look to try and make this play. Aurora's going to go between worlds, trying to find that dive into Lily Coco, looking to find the damage they can, make it Wraith coming through, but no bullet time. It's not even used at all. Newen going to pick up Lily Coco. They popped Cryptid on the side with Witch Hat, but hey, JK's going to outplay 1. Looking for a little bit more. Hook's going to eat the minion. So
the Void Grub.
2 for 1. Looking good. They're back.
Oh. Two for 1, and I think that you're kind of even on what you expected to get there. The only problem is that Scion gets that top turret, so they do get that standing gold. Over here, as we're going to see this play develop again. I like the solar flare and I like the call.
Yes,
Like, you know,
speed.
as they're coming through here.
Look at it. It's fast.
Just boom. Yep. And everything all at once, kind of like they had last game. The only thing that I would have liked to have seen is maybe a quicker ultimate coming out from Witch Hat Black Mass here. Like if they could have been like as the play started, you know, ulting behind there, because I think you would have caught out a little bit more. But you did get a lot out of the side of Elegy as well. But I think that you expended more to get basically a 2-for-1, and then you lost your top tower. So all in all, Elegy kind of come out ahead, and now you have a 4-1 Veigar. So this is kind of like an opposite of last game where, you know, Gwyn on the Oriana was huge, and now you have Lord JK on the Veigar, who is also huge. I guess we'll see if he can do what, you know, what Oriana was able to do last game.
Lot of heavy lifting to be done by the Veigar. A couple different people in good spots though. Cryptid still very viable. Listening to you going for a little bit more of that tank. JK now at 200 stacks. And Ewan's gonna get caught out trying to go in between worlds. Yeah, that's resistant to CC, by the way, guys. So
that
picking it up and getting out of there.
Yeah, I love that. I'll be honest, I don't play a lot of Aurora. I didn't even know you could do that. So good heads up play by Gwyn to make sure that they get that. Yeah, just smart. But now you also don't have your ultimate for another 45 seconds. So you know, it's another another just trade of, you know, resources here. Does buy a little bit of time, I think, for Elegy, and maybe they can get a little bit of damage onto this tower, but they are kind of backing off here. It does look like they're trying to make, Mint Gaming is trying to make a play. I think they're going to try to go back to like maybe not so much of a death ball, but they are trying to get a little bit of extra picks. It looks like they're trying to go, you know, more for the picks here as this game kind of goes through. And as I say that, you do get a
Chad, you gotta be very concerned here. Gonna pop that stun early. Ult from JK doesn't quite matter. Still on a killing spree there. And Ewan gonna look for the 3-hit passive. Can't get away. It's a slide into the wall. It's another kill for Cryptid, who keeps up the pressure and keeps Elegy looking clean.
JK is gonna have to get an MRI in his back from carrying this one. That is absolutely insane. Like, just how close they have gotten to killing him. That is twice now that has happened, to where he barely gets out. And even the first time he got out as well, just, you know, the Pantheon came out of nowhere with a flash cube for the first kill. So JK on this Veigar, just extremely impressive, given you know, what he's had to deal with and how many times they've tried to dive him. If there's ever any question on whether you should go Seraph first on this Veigar, he kind of answered it here, because this is insane how much he's gotten out of that item, and how he's been able to just get away barely twice now, because he even had the Storm Surge proc on him and it still wasn't enough to take him down. So great play from the Veigar here, just completely punishing everything that Mint Gaming is throwing his way.
2 levels for JK. He's been sidelinning like a monster, to be honest. It's the XP lead now. We're going to see them try and take down Agent aspect of Noxus. They're going to get ran down. No mana for the Scion. Still enough to do something, but this lockdown's looking a little too difficult to deal with. It's a shutdown picked up by the Tristana, but one of the few times they're probably going to have an easy time killing the Scion. Now, looking over at the Scion, been talking about it in the chat. It's a Blade of the Rune King for the Pantheon Fell. Excuse me, I know you're not necessarily the biggest fan of like these super AD focused junglers here. JK is just gonna evaporate Ewan if they got the fancy feet. Hold up. Ooh, wow. Staying alive. 3 miss. JK looking to find the first one of the fight. Just gonna walk on away.
Wow, how many skill shots can you dodge in 10 seconds yourself? Yeah, I'm not... I mean, I get it, especially since, you know, you have double tanks here on the side of Elegy. I don't hate... this, but he also, I think, went lethal tempo on the Pantheon and not press the attack, so that's kind of weird to me that you would go Blade of the Rune King. Is it Conqueror?
It has to be Conqueror here. Hydrone's gonna flash over the wall. They can try and follow with the Blast Cone, but Rocket Jump in a couple seconds. Good solo for keeps the Poppy away. Soars still fishing for the hook. Yeah, they're chilling.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. when you don't dodge the Q and the W and the Q and the W and the Q and the W, you are going to eat an ultimate there, and that's kind of what happened.
At a hero.
Yeah. Who's dead, sacrifices himself to the turret, does get an execute out of it, so you don't give that over to the Scion, and you got Scion ult, so another thing I guess you got rid of. Another resource counted down. Yeah, it's not really that big a deal, especially since he's already 16 now. Yeah, the Scion stacks are getting there. And the Vhagar stacks, obviously, we already know where they're at. And he's about to have a completed death cap here. So he's going to be able to basically one-shot everybody on the team except for the set. And that's going to be a 2 or 3 shot coming out of this Vhagar. And we're only 24 minutes in.
They can find the pick on the... Yeah, goodbye. Goodbye. Barrier popped. 1 HP.
Yeah.
Never mind. Not goodbye. Now looking to turn this fight, though, onto the rest of Elegy. Lily Coco is out of the fight here. They've got about 30 seconds until this Misfortune joins. Aspect and Noxus also waiting on this onslaught. So the ability's not quite in the personnel for Elegy, not in a great spot, but they've done their homework. So they're so ahead with the Vhagar, they can zone them out. And they had Aspect actually move on forward, a flash burn. They're going to go to the cage. Sora's going to flash on forward. Solar Flare, they're trying to find the burst, but Poppy knocked them away. Black Hat coming back through with the Eclipse on top, I guess. Looking for something. Oda Hero finally going to find Soars there with the Showstopper. Dragon Aspect into the backside here. Oda Hero keeps up the pressure on the Poppy. They don't even care about the Scion. The rest of your team is dead, buddy. You can't do anything.
I do not understand this play from Elegy. Lord has played this game completely. I can't say perfectly, but up to that point, like as perfect as you can get, and then just flashes forward to put up a baby cage into where you didn't even have vision. Like, what is? I don't understand what he does here. I get you want to catch him out here, but like, yeah, it just didn't work.
It's a free fight. Oh
yeah. You have no MF. Yeah, you have no MF here on the backside to follow up your damage, and then you just flashed with. I get Seraphs is strong, but it is not Zhonya's. It is not like the tank Vhagar that some people go. Yeah, I don't know. I just. Man, they just completely threw their entire lead this game. They need to reset this and make sure that this doesn't snowball out of control. The only way to do that is just play a little bit safer. And then Scion on the backside, like, we see how strong he is, right? And, like, how long it's going to take to get him down. But they just didn't really do anything with that. I don't understand that flash forward from the cage. I know you wanted to make the hero play, but you were making the hero play when you had them coming to you, when you were able to zone off and do whatever you wanted there. And then you just gave up the dragon on the backside of that play as well. So just a little bit of an overstep from the Lord JK. I don't know if that was the call that everybody wanted. If it was, then just a bad call. But hopefully they could just reset after that and say, okay, my bad, guys. I got a little, limit testing here. Yeah, I did. Yeah, there we go. There's some Bay Area hype for you. Yeah, if you can just reset that and then get back to what was working for you, I think that they'll be absolutely fine. They just need to make sure that happens.
Yeah, like I picked it up too. It's like they had their space. They were in river. They had the bodies, but they pulled Aspect into a great spot to try and shove that mid lane. A job done. They pulled away. They had to look in the other side. They had to try and really make the best of a bad situation, right? MJ were kind of coming back, picking up a bad mid wave in terms of like the general map play, but they just weren't able to convert that into a great spot. They felt pressured. They felt like they wanted to make a play. So I get like this is me in defense of JK. But in the end, I don't get it either. They had their space. They had the right idea going. I don't know why they didn't just calm down, but you can get caught up in a bad moment. And you can even look across the map for Elegy. They're still in a comfortable spot pushing wise. They've still got Aspect winning in the bot side. They've still got JK, who's finished up this death cap now. And is going to be a very scary Vhagar when they land their abilities and don't flash forward to the cage, and they can't do that for another minute. So, hey, that's perfectly fine.
Yeah, and like once they get if they have to, I don't even know if they're going to be able to, considering who's on the other side. Like they might not even have to get like a Void Staff, so they'll just be able to just keep building as much damage as they want. Because if they start prioritizing the MR, then Misfortune if she can ever kind of get online here and get into a good position where they're not kind of messing up the play before she gets there. Might be able to get something out of that here as Aspect does see the Pantheon coming. Is going to try to be a little bit cautious here. I do kind of like how they've played this, but now you're going to get out of Hero building this up, and
Soon, man.
yeah, he's got to flash out.
You gotta just press it much faster, because look at the pressure now. Elegy are going to call instantly on this Baron. They saw the Pantheon. Getting close with this Grand Starfall. They're going to pull the Scion with the TP as well. No mana for Scion, mind you. That might be a thing that they have to worry about. 8,600, 7,800. They're finally going to get vision on it. They're going to look for the burst on a JK. 1 HP here. In between worlds. Stops. Solar Flare to try and get the soul. Can't do it. Bullet time. Finally going to put a little damage there. Pantheon tunneling into the backside. Crypto trying to flash, trying to peel. Able to find the kill. Shield of Daybreak. Putting in the work. It's a lot of sustain from the Blade of the Rune King. Pantheon over the wall. Trying to find the lockdown on a little Coco, but the decimating smash puts a stop to Hydron. It puts a stop to the dreams of MGA, but Auto Hero can be the hero for the side, can try and finish up this fight. But it is some damage here. Both top laners can't really do a whole lot at this moment. But the play stops. MGA bailed out by Witch Hat.
Yeah, and that is how strong Elegy is right now. Right, we finally get to see a fight where Lily's in here, but you have the Lord walking up and getting completely 99%ed by Gwyn to start this fight here on the Aurora. Oh my god, that is so crazy. And they barely get out, so they get lucky here.
Too.
Yeah, and like I said, it got caught out and you finally had that, but with Veigar being having to get out of that fight as much as they did. But Lily on the backside of this gets 3 kills for themselves here. Great knock up from the Scion. And I think that if they are able to kind of get these fights to go their way and start it when they want to, they'll be just fine. The biggest problem is that, you can't get caught out from basically a death rush by the Aurora to start the fight. So great job from Mint Gaming as well to just get that small little victory when they can. And now you have Scion's gonna have to come back. They don't have teleport, so if he's on the top side, they might be able to force something here. As Out of Hero does have their teleport, even though they're down here on the bot side, if they want to go up and match the Scion a little bit or create some pressure on the top lane, and then since you have the teleport advantage, kind of do that. But it does kind of look like Mint Gaming is potentially going to look to try to maybe even bait or start this Baron, as now they're gonna have the vision control completely in their hands, as the dragon is up, and I don't think that either team wants to trade a dragon for a Baron, but I do think that it's potentially a decent enough play that if you're so far behind, taking the dragon as a consolation prize might not be the worst thing in the world.
Now, to kind of pull away for a second, because I think, never mind, I can't even pull away. In Between Worlds going to get missed. JK had to flash, pops the baby cage, Hook going to get found. Grand Starfall in the backline. JK is going to pick out Newen already. JK getting singled out. Oh, that's going to be a big miss, but the bullet time cutting down the rest of MGA. They're able to pick up Lily Coco. Can they continue with the set? Stacked up on this Conqueror. Here comes the onslaught. It's going to pick up the Leona, able to eat up from Star Emperor. Can get the Zenith Blade to get away. Haymaker does some extra damage, but there's no sustain on the rest of the side. Elegy pull it out. They pull the rabbit on the pick, and they're going to be able to continue that into a game win, possibly.
We just got 2 haymakers in one fight, by the way. So yes, when you miss, and then when you miss your Between Worlds, and then you just get completely obliterated by the Veigar right off the bat, it's never going to go your way. But yes, a great. I mean, that's a ballsy bullet time from Lily on this MF, and I think that was just so risky, but it paid off because it worked here. And then you get Out of Hero gets the second haymaker off here, but it's just not enough damage now, because now you're dealing with 3 of the tanks here. You have Mr. Suarez, you have the side and the Poppy on the back, on in your face there. So great job from Elegy, and that's what's going to happen when you can get somebody just zeroed out by the Veigar, especially somebody as important as Gwyn on this Aurora. Then that's how these plays are going to go, and there's not really much that Witch Hat can do to really stop that from happening, I guess. If you if your engage is going to come from the Aurora and they're going to miss their between worlds. So a little bit of maybe a hectic push or rushed play by MGA because everybody wasn't in position yet. But yeah, great response from Elegy there, and they're able to just keep this lead that they have now. I mean, I know they're 500 gold down, but they are up a dragon, and you do have 2 stacking champions that have done nothing but do that. So you see 288 CS by this Scion here. Like, that's a lot of free W stacks. And as we see here, Syndicate 2-0's Conduit. So the 4-way tie is still potentially there. We just need Elegy to lose to MGA. Yeah, it definitely
Luminary 2-0'd Theory of Everything. So that's the big big kicker here, specifically for Elegy, that they really wanted to get a higher seeding. So it's in the air right now. Playoffs are entirely in the air. So we are going to really have to put in the work to try and keep this updated high. Drone's going to get pretty aggressive here. They've popped the Cryptid into the back line. They've got the Deadmans to close the distance quickly, but not much you could do here. There's so much pressure on all these objectives up on the map as well. Each Baron is going to be so hard to contest for both sides, and especially with an engage that ended up like that for MGA. I was mentioning it of, hey, they need to stay in the driver's seat. They need to be able to make these plays. They're starting to lose that spark. And on a ward, Careless from Newland is going to be able to kind of sense with the Spidey sense that something's going on, but you might be able to force this Baron as Elegy.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't now. I mean, you have the baby cage, you have everything that you want, you have a teleport from the Scion ready to go. But, you know, I think maybe they just have a little bit of apprehension just because how chaotic these fights have gone, and they've seen how even when they think that they have the positioning, they kind of don't. Yeah, I don't know. I'm with you. I think I would have tried to start that Baron then, but they just wanted to get a little bit more. Now they see the Pantheon on the bottom here. Sion's going to give him the run around.
Again.
Yep.
They've done this twice.
No, and he gets all the way through too. So this is going to be, should be a free as it can be Baron for the side of Elegy.
And they might lose Sion. Flash, if that. Sion's now going to flash over the wall, very low HP. Sora's going to look for it, but look, the Lantern to get away. Baby Gage pops. Sora's stuck, flashing over the wall, trying to make it engage. Solar Player going to get popped as well. They're looking to get to JK, but they can't get access. It's burst onto Lily Coco, who stands 10 toes down with the bullet time. Is going to be able to get the kill. Sora staying alive. It's a revive there for the Pantheon, but there's nothing left to go. Odo Hero trying to play Hero Ball again, getting on towards JK, looking to make the engage, but can't quite do it. JK still alive. All 5 members making it out with Elegy.
Oh, the escape artist, Vanguard, like, Lord JK has been, that is the 5th time this game now, where I'm like, oh, there's no way he gets at it. What? How? Absolutely insane. I mean, good play from Oda Hero to use, I think it was the Poppy to close the distance there, and, you know, then get the flash on top, but just not enough damage coming out from the set here. They do have the Overlord's mail, so, like, they should be able to, but for some reason this Vagar has just like a 12-leaf clover in their pocket or something, because that is the luckiest Vagar I think that I have ever seen. And yeah, this is now, Elegy is completely in the driver's seat. They've done a very good job with this counter engage composition that they have, and I love the way that they're playing this right now. And this is what you expect from the team that is the higher seed, and like maybe they just got caught a little off guard in game 1, maybe not. Maybe this is just something more their style, and they try to match. Yeah,
like I believe they've just scaled. I'm gonna say this. I believe they've just scaled. They were definitely a little sloppier in that early game, but the second
they were also still ahead though.
Yeah,
with the exception of bot lane.
But there's a little more to scaling and stuff than damage. There's like options for engage, and MJ have that in droves. But now every engage is a losing fight. If they don't get a pick beforehand, if they can't burst Lee Coco, if they can't burst JK before the fight, because you're not gonna burst Aspect. That's not something we're gonna ask anybody to do. So, like, that engage is possible. 4K isn't really a big deal. 2K isn't really a big deal, even like at 20 minutes. So it's really just kind of about getting caught in these baby cages, losing all this damage, and look at the members clear it instantly. Oda Hero is just gonna get popped. It's a killing spree for JK as eyes are set on the soul for Elegy.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, outside of a Pantheon ult. Like they get it, right? And so now MGA has to try to get anything that they can anywhere they can, but it's so hard. Yeah, he did try a little bit, but you are going to, that is going to be Glacial Soul over to the side of Elegy, and with Baron coming up in 15 and Set coming up in 33, I think that, you know, you pressure this mid wave, and then if you can't just crack it right now, I think that you just turn around and you go straight for the Baron, but you don't want to give Mint Gaming time for Adahiro to come back and join this fight, so I don't know, they kind of sticking around a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit too long. Maybe you're trying to just get one more catch on the Veigar and just knock somebody down here. Or looks like they're trying to tower dive this bot wave. They want to end this game now.
Of course they want to end this game. They're going to find the push on the wall. Solo Flare finds the stun there, looking to get the engage in the backline. There's a lot of damage from the In-Between Worlds. Elegy gather up too close. Odo Hero finds a good haymaker. Now can they get the Tristana? They're going to run into the wall. The stun keeps Lily Coco's continuing to fire off the autos. It's a triple kill for the AD carry from Elegy. Stepping up huge. Goes a little too far forward, but they're still able to pick up the kill. It's a Quadra. Looking a little hungry. Dancing away from Newen. It's a Quadra kill for Lily Coco. Fishing for the Penta. Looking to try and get it, not able to get it done at the end of the day. So the game continues, but they got the teleport from the Scion. They've got JK still kicking as well. So in theory, they're going to get themselves close to an end angle, but I don't know if you've got it in you, especially if JK falls, though. Yeah, that might be the end there. Decimating Smash, the pop with the Furnace to pick up the kill. A mistake at the end from Newen. The member you needed to step up from the side of MGA falls at the end of the day. The scaling from Elegy picks them up 1-1. We go to game 3.
Yes, we do, and we'll have a playoff. I will have a playoff update for everybody after this game. But just a good answer from Elegy. They didn't play it perfectly. Lily in the beginning almost gave the game away to Tristana, but collected themselves. And when they needed the MF to just stand there and do what MF does, Lily did a great job. And you know, so from worst to first in that game, and then obviously not enough can be said about Lord JK on this Veigar. They were so good at getting out of these fights with like just a little bit. On that last play where they got caught, I actually thought that they just wasted their ultimate on the Leona, and like Leona was like still at like 20 health. I think the Storm Surge eventually got him, but like you just used your ultimate on the support as the Veigar, like as the carry of the team. Somehow they still keep going, and then Lily just takes over that team fight and gets everything that they need to press the attack, just pop one after another, and just stays in there completely through all of these fights here. As we'll see this one too. Forget which one this is.
The run through on the game, but we can kind of keep looking at it. It was this early game very well played from the side of MGA. They put themselves in the driver's seat. They had the engage, they had the comp for it, obviously, but there's still work that has to be done. It's definitely not the easiest thing to do, and this is that beautiful snap engage from the Aurora, and this is kind of what they were looking for, was these 3v3 skirmishes where they can use that Pantheon ult to show up faster than anyone else. But JK every single time was finding one. At least was finding one kill, and that gives Elegy little bits and pieces of time to scale back in, to at least get a little more comfortable and put themselves in these spots here. If they didn't flash over for this cage, this is the cage flash here. If they just hovered around that river bush and around the kind of that extra entrance from mid there, would have been so much better. Would have been in a great spot to be able to win, would have been able to just take this dragon and just pressure everything. And it's great and very great play from MGA to kind of keep themselves in it. But at the end of the day, you can't beat a Scion Veigar scaling. You can't beat Misfortune staying alive in every fight. You can't really get over that hump unless you're just already on top of it. And once they kind of let go, there was not much they could do.
Right, and here's one too where like this is another one where Nuyid on the Aurora just catches the Veigar out in space.
This is the ult earlier.
Boom, boom.
If you ult and then pop the rest there, JK's dead, you're out already as well, and you're in a better spot here. So that's like those little bits and pieces that they needed, and that's the issue with the comp like this, is the execution threshold is so much higher than that Veigar. It's those little bits and pieces, like she needs to ult earlier. That's valid feedback, that's valid criticism.
Yeah, and this is also the fight where Lily gets into the game, right? Because you give a triple kill over to somebody who I think at this point had 0 kills, and just put her on the map, right? And like when you do that, and you already have a Fed Vagar to deal with, Olympus, and then you all of a sudden start giving kills over to Lily. Eventually, she's going to be able to outtrade in a close range matchup with the Tristana. And here's another thing that I think that worked really well.
The overforce.
Yeah, it worked really well in game 1 was Witch Hat on these global initiations. On this one, it just feels like they were a half a second behind on every single one of these plays. When you had the hop over in the mid lane, Pantheon was just a little bit too far behind timing wise, and then this play right here obviously is another one, and it just seemed like with the Nocturne, Witch Hat was able to just be the button that pushed, and on this one it just never really got to here. And we see Hydreion on this Tristana able to actually get Scion down and low, but here's the follow-up play where they kind of had this one out, but then Aspect actually lives here, and then Lord JK once again able to get over here. Huge bullet time from Lily, and then just everybody just kind of able to just live for just long enough at a hero. This is where he actually gets the ultimate off. It was onto the Poppy. Flash forward. Still doesn't get it because Mr. Soares with the timely hook. That was another one. I think this is like the nail in the coffin play that you would say that where there's just nothing we can do that is going to work, and then it just slowly whittled away at MGA from that point on. And just a great job from Elegy. They kind of picked something that needed the game to go long, and like you said, MGA did a good job in the early game, especially in the bot lane. The bot lane, Hydreion was so far ahead and ready to take that down. What I would have liked to have seen is maybe Witch Hat, instead of trying to kill the Vagar, go kill the MF. Get your Tristana even more and more fed, if you can. I mean, obviously you can, because she was dying without you.
Pick something, right? Just pick something, push your global advantage a little bit early on in that mid game, so that way you have a little bit more comfortable of a net to kind of fall on when you make those mistakes. You only get 2 of them in the spot that they were in, and they made them, and you kind of saw them just slowly tumble away. Now, should be good to send it to a little bit of a break. It's 1-1. The playoff picture still very messy with this series going on. We're going to be here to guide you through it once the draft starts for Game 3. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. straight to draft. Let me get a better picture. Are we in? Oh, am I live? I'm live. Hello. I was digging for a funny picture I have. I'll post it in the production chat because we have our fun little stuff. Anyway, speaking of fun, 1-1 series. As of right now, we've got Relics doing the math to figure out the playoff picture, but
I think
confirmed Elegy still has a way to get in if they win this game. MGA, due to the 2-1 situation, possibly might not be in, but you still got to win because you can. If you beat Elegy, they're out, I believe.
No.
So nope, never mind.
No.
My bad.
The way at least that I'm looking at it, and we can go over this really quick, is that MGA would have the up on Elegy. Elegy would have the up on Theory of Everything. Theory of Everything would have the up on Conduit. Now, what it would come down to, I would assume at that point, because Conduit obviously has the up on MGA, would be that since everybody has an up on everyone, it would go to game score, at which point Genesis or Conduit Genesis would be 8-8, Theory of Everything and Elegy would be potentially 7-9, and then MGA would be 6-10. So in my eyes, unless they want to do something cool and fun, since it's a 4-way tie, have some sort of like best of one off, it would be mathematically with the game scores, MGA would be out. But let's not let that get in the way of anything. Hopefully, this can keep going, and Relics hasn't given us any official decision on that.
Conduit does not have up on MGA.
Well, they don't. So they have
we
two
ups. We gotta redo our math up here. I mean, I'm not a math major, so don't look at me. It's not my job to do this. I just yell in the can. So anyway, looking back into the draft, back into the game at hand.
It is 2 ups. I don't know.
It is looking at a very different kind of game coming out. Back into that like more comfortable scaling spot for both of these teams, though. Mundo. You gotta go up his. He's fat. Oh my good god. My bad. My bad.
Elegy continuing their trend of we want to get to the late game here. So they get the Mundo, they get Ari, which great control early, mid, and late game. Ari is strong in all phases, so I like that. I don't know if this is Mundo jungle or Mundo top. I prefer the Mundo top, but with the quick clear speeds and everything, Mundo jungle can like get ahead. You just concede the dragon and then just invade when they dragon, right? And so you could just get your CS up, and like after the first 2 dragons, you just start taking everything over. So as Chad is trying to win. Oh my gosh, this is absolutely insane what's going on.
They're doing the math as well.
Yeah, they're doing that. You are going to get the Caitlyn, Azir, and Wukong, which I do like this from MGA. I think that maybe having a jungler where you have to be there to engage, if it's not Nocturne, I think is going to do Witch Black, I think is going to do them a favor of not being behind the play, because now you can't just like start a play and then have Pantheon come in on the back end as we're actually going to get I like this for Sora Emperor and Hydreion. They're actually going to have the Caitlyn Vel'Koz, which is very hard lane to deal with, and even with the Braum and the E, until you get 5 points into that E, like that shield does not negate as much as you think it does, and especially when you start dealing with percentage health and all this other multiplicative damage that Vel'Koz does. Damage. Yeah, this is potentially a very hard lane for Mr. Soares and Lily to deal with.
Yeah, and with the Ashe out from early on in the series, you can't pick like the standard thematic counter into Caitlyn. So the Vel'Koz, looking very good. The Braum is, the idea is, we can stop the Wukong, we can stop the Azir, and I can just put up my shield for the Caitlyn specifically. It's not necessarily for the Vel'Koz. The Vel'Koz is going to get to run rampant. So you're looking at him. Gotta get ganked constantly. We have to be bot line. We have to shut down Soar if you're as Elegy right now. And the jungler is going to be a Mundo who doesn't do that. Mundo doesn't really shut down lanes in the same way like a Lee Sin does, or a Wukong, or we saw in game 1 as the Nocturne. Mundo farms. Mundo farms. Mundo ganks backsides. Mundo kills backsides. Mundo goes where he pleases in a bit. We got to get to that point, and that makes it really hard for me to once again look at Elegy's comp. If they can scale and get to that really strong point, and the Xayah can't get engaged on, and the Braum's doing really well, and the Mundo's in the backline tearing it up with the Renekton and Ahri, they're going to be in a great spot. but MGA once again just have every option available to them. All 3 lanes are great targets to gank, as Witch had. All 3 lanes can win in isolation. All 3 lanes can kind of play relatively well from behind. All 3 lanes just are going to be in a very comfortable state, and that's kind of what it looks like to me. It looks like a more comfort draft. It's not thematically great. They're kind of a little lopsided. You've got the poke and space control as Vel'Koz and the Caitlyn, and you've got great engage, but no one else can really back that up. So it's fine. B minus B for MGA, but that's what comforts look like. You look at Elegy, they got diving going on and some anti-dive. It more just looks like Lily Coco said, I know I'm going to get dove. I don't want to have that happen to me. And then everyone else just do your job and we'll be okay.
Yeah, and I think one issue that LG is going to run into here is that Mundo is going to have to get through a Vel'Koz, and he's going to have to get through a Azir and Wukong and Aatrox, and a lot of damage, is going to be amplified by the fact that he is such a healthy person. So the high health actually kind of works against him. Good trading over here in the mid lane here. I am excited to see this matchup here, right? So you have 2 highly skill-oriented champs. We didn't see that cannon go to the turret. So you have basically a very high skill matchup here. And between these 2 mid laners, we've seen the Veigar, where that's easy to play, the Orianna, which is kind of easy to play, but now you have Azir into Ahri. This is going to be an exciting, it's going to be a very exciting skill matchup to kind of watch here. And then on the top side too, you do have the Renekton into Aatrox. Yeah, and in the bot lane, I think the ease of everything kind of goes to Elegy, and I also think in the jungle, the ease of what you want to accomplish, maybe not so much for the clear speeds, I mean, that's kind of like whatever, but what you want to accomplish, I think on the backside of these, or as the game develops, I think the ease of execution goes over to the side of Elegy. There we go. Yeah, I got the words.
Yeah, you got it. Words can get hard. It's getting a little late, so maybe we can kind of look at the players for that. But hey, it's a Friday as well, so I don't know who isn't staying up on a Friday. So I know I might not. I'm kind of beat, but especially after a long series, these players looking to find the angles. Soars getting aggressive with it, might get punished for it, but so far just trying to spend the HP as best they can to buy space, to buy time. And Lily Coco, you mentioned, the burden of execution is on the Caitlyn lane. It's always going to be on the Caitlyn lane, but when the Vel'Koz is going to be landing everything like that, the pass is going to get popped there, true damage burst. Lily Coco stepping forward, one more auto needed, heal baited, barrier used, Hydra picking up the first blood, looking for the second, the tower not enough to finish it. It's a disaster for Elegy.
Just had used the E, so didn't have that on the cooldown. Wasn't able to pull the feathers back. I like the aggression. I like the fact that Lily saw that she was going to be able to get the kill, but Hydron was still sitting there. Full health on the Caitlyn. I think either way, you are going to die for this play. Mr. Soares getting caught out here, and this is kind of like what Vel'Koz can do. Now you've used that heal, and then the flash forward, and then the trap net backwards. I know I screwed that up. The 90 caliber net backwards. To hit Lily with that, to slow them down just enough to where you couldn't do it. I know that wasn't exactly planned, and how you draw it up, but really well executed by Hydreion on this Caitlyn. That shows just a great use of the champion and their abilities, and knowing exactly what you can do, and lucked out on the second part of that and is able to save their laner now. So that's exactly what you want in this. As
no mana. Oh, I guess just use it to try and push the lane as best as possible. But now JK doesn't have mana to push the wave, and Nguyen has mana and enough HP to live through a burst, so they're gonna get one up on JK at this moment, or in theory should. Both mid laners burn TPs, so you're gonna be watching Nguyen to maybe look for a shuffle here. There is flash, so JK has that to spend to get out of a play, but other than that, Soares has put themselves in a very bad spot, but they're applying all the passes the best they can here. It's doing a little bit of work. Soares getting chased out by Lily Coco, who's maybe a little tilted running on forward, trying to find the kill as best as possible. I get it, but man, you're putting yourself in a very, very deep hole.
Yeah, you are into a Caitlyn, which is not the champion that you want to do this with, because late game, those 2 shots can come out like so unexpectedly from the Caitlyn, and you know, even as a Xayah who can ult themselves to safety, there may not be an available option for you if you keep this up. And I get it, they're getting dialed in, they're getting sucked into this. Vel'Koz is low, Vel'Koz is on the back foot. We have this kill, but you just don't have the follow-up damage. I think that Sword did a great job on the Vel'Koz to keep Cryptid like far enough away and at low enough health without the ultimate to burn that they had to kind of back off the play. And then for some reason they're not communicating that with their ADC, or they are, and Lily's just kind of getting a little bit too aggressive and, like you said, a little tilted maybe from the earlier play. And yeah, the desperation coming through, because now if Chad is correct, and I don't see any reason why Noodles wouldn't be correct on this, if MGA wins, they are in, and Elegy want to make sure that they don't allow that to happen. You want to play Gatekeeper, you want to play Spoiler, and you want to go up against people that you want to go up against. And just like the pressure just seems like it is getting pretty substantial for the side of Elegy, and Lily just has to kind of like just take a quick reset and do what you've been doing these other games.
Gotta keep it up here, but Elegy not out yet. They're still gonna try and rush on forward here. Last Spirit Rush finds a charm, the flash for the stun. Aspects makes it work. Baby, that's what the Renekton's for. But now the pressure's on the bot side. If they can cover this dive here with Cryptid as well, not even to get the answer to do it, it will be a 4-way tie. Okay, so Noodles is also, no one's really sure what's gonna happen with the playoff picture, but someone will have to be sure at the end of the day. We've still got this match in front of us. We still got MGA in a comfortable spot, but Elegy not out yet. It's going to be the scaling from this Caitlyn and from this Azir that really has to impact it. I need to see a jungler get on the map, man. It's level 6 already. Cyclone's up for the Wukong, and it's past due for a play. And I might get my wish here with Cryptid wrapping on through. Soar's going to rush on forward, looking to find the Winner's Bite, not able to do it. Briefcase going to go wide. And it's Hydro looking to flash on forward. It's answered. Soar's away. Life Orb Disintegration, right? Putting a little bit of extra damage, but not enough to kill. Cryptid now rushing down onto Soar. And here's on the map for Witch Hat, but the gank bot side looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does, and if they can transition these grubs into something positive, that would be great. But you have to be kind of happy if you are MGA here, as now the Lord is over here. He's gonna miss the charm. Oh, isn't able to kind of get around there. Okay, so great cross map play. I mean, unfortunately, Hydreion is the one that got excited there and overstepped into Lily and Suarez, and just gets baited the other way around. So that might be, the play that bot kind of needs. I mean, you have all 3 of these kills on this Caitlyn, whereas if you're Elegy, you have kills kind of spread around. Your Xayah is in a very dire situation here, and it would have been lovely to trade that kill over to them. But, you can't, beggars can't be choosers, and you get what you can take here. So this is definitely on like on a knife's edge here as we're getting into around the 10-minute mark here. Both of these teams are very close. There's a little bit of a gold lead for MGA, but most of the plays have kind of favored ELC here, and Elegy kind of doing exactly what they need to outside of a couple miscues from Lily early on, as now they are just trying to make Adahiro just regret his decision of stepping onto this rift.
A charm. It's another gank top here, and they're going to put down Otohiro much farther behind than they need to be on this Aatrox. I'm thinking about it, and I'm looking at like, yeah, you need to set up this trap line with Caitlyn. You need to look for a creative angle from either your Azir or your Wukong, but it's none of the above is going to be available when you don't have a tank, man. You're going to be super reliant on this Vel'Koz to put in extra damage. You're going to be very reliant on just the damage coming from bot lane. I don't know if that's going to be enough.
No, it might not be. I mean, it obviously wasn't to get the kill, but you do get the bot lane to kind of push off a little bit. You are going to get Aspect taking this top tier 1. It actually looks like they're gonna try to let the minions take it, and they might not actually get it. So first turret is actually going to go over to MGA. Like, I feel like that's a missed opportunity for Elegy to get the first turret. I don't know. It still gives a little bit of extra gold, right? I know they didn't like get rid of all of the bonuses on the map. Pretty sure you still get that little bit of extra here. So
just little bits and pieces from Elegy at this moment. Just getting little those ganks that are it's a ton of resources being burned, but it's gonna work. You've got your Ahri on the map already. You've already got the Ahri burning that Spirit Rush, and once again, no gank from the Wukong. This is a ganking jungler. This is a jungler that's meant to get you ahead. You kind of rush to level 6 and look for a fight here, and this is kind of the best scenario that you can get here. Cyclone's gonna pop Lily Coco, flash from Witch Hat. It's gonna try and reposition, but can't get the feather pull back. Cryptic's gonna look, JK gonna miss the charm, but Hydra's just gonna fall in the face of the Mundo. And the mid laner here from Elegy, Lifeborn Disintegration Ray gonna pull a little bit of extra damage with the TP's coming in on high. They're gonna send the top laners here. Cryptic getting pretty low, but they can't find the kill. Another charm gonna go wide. Here comes out a hero, trying to rush in with the World Ender, finds the blood from Cryptid on the floor, and they're gonna track him down in the jungle, and they can't get it. Elegy losing to the dragon.
yeah, they do, and that's a play that they had started, and they had Lily in a good position, but they were by themselves. You can't be the ADC, especially an underfed ADC, out on your own. They did have the good positioning, they just didn't have the rest of the team there. I think if you have Braum a little bit closer to this play, and they can kind of start this off, as you see here, they're just sort of like, I guess he had already used his Q onto the dragon, so there's no like extra one in that one. And then like this Wukong, even though they haven't ganked yet, did have a lot of damage in their pocket with the double cyclone hitting, and then a unfortunate flash where Lily just couldn't get over the wall. And then yeah, you just the back damage from Vel'Koz. I'm going to be interested to see his numbers at the end here, because that's just so much. And then at a hero just coming through on this Aatrox and just like, hello, raid boss is here. We're just gonna get this. And I'm actually kind of surprised that they didn't go for the 2. They went for just the Mundo, but it ended up netting them the second dragon, and now they're completely in control of all of the objectives here. So although they didn't get a lot of ganks off, Witch Hat has definitely gotten, or Witch Black has definitely gotten, you know, the objectives won, maybe off of the back of the fact that like the rest of their team is just kind of doing what they're doing. But yeah, they've gotten the objectives that they wanted, and their team is still in a position to win here. My biggest concern would be Cryptid just scaling into everything on this Mundo. As you do already see, he already has over 40 stacks on this Heartsteel. So
That's 2 uses.
yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I guess it's not that big of a deal.
That's 2 uses of the Heartsteel. That's not that big of a deal. It'll start stacking up. We have to kind of be concerned about it at like the 150, 200 mark. That's like, okay, they're really getting a good advantage from this. But as of right now, still gonna be still gonna kind of be losing to the Trinity Force. But JK's gonna get the call to go forward, finds a charm. Here comes Cryptid from the side. Sora's gonna be able to get away now, looking to pop it from on high, but they can't quite get it done. There's the true damage from the Life Orb Disintegration Ray. One's gone, looking to find Witch Hat, able to pick it up as a shutdown for Lily Coco. Hydra wants to keep pushing on forward. They've got no ace in the hole though. Flash forward, 90 cal, and that's gonna miss, but that headshot doesn't. They're going to be pretty accurate with that. It's 2 for 1.
I love this play from Hydra. Like this, Caitlyn is doing such a good job. Is now we're going to get
that was fast fingers from both there.
Yeah,
Coco's still alive is kind of impressive.
Yeah, that was actually insane. But this Caitlyn has been extremely impressive early on. They're just hitting all of the right notes. I know that they missed their 90 caliber net, but just like the flash forward and then still getting that, and then just their positioning has been very, very strong in the earlier parts here, not getting themselves into too much trouble. We were kind of worried about like what the Mundo is going to be able to do, you know, if they get into the back line, but Hydron hasn't really given them a chance to. It's just maintaining their spacing and the pace of this. Really like this from Hydron. And on the back, on the other side of it, on the flip side, the Lord on this Ahri has done a tremendous job from finding opportunities and using their Spirit Rush to get around as well. So good job from both of them so far into this game. I think the only one that's you know, I'd be concerned about now is maybe this aspect has gotten 2 kills on this Renekton and is becoming a very, very big boy here. Already like over what 9 to 1,000 gold just in items already purchased ahead of the Aatrox, and could potentially become a huge problem. And if they keep up this split push kind of the way that they are, could end up being something that they need to send 2 or 3 members at a time to get. Looks like they're gonna try to dive.
Yeah. 2 to 3 members at a time is no longer enough for Otohiro, but Hydra's gonna be too close. Spirit Rush finds it. Cyclone is going to lock down JK for just a couple extra seconds. The geometry enough. Woodchat's going to flash to the tower to guarantee the kill, so it's 1 for 1 on the map right now.
Yeah, and right as I say it, but it does look like Renekton.
Otohiro stayed. Could get the knockup. Renekton's going to be low. Flash to the tower to pick it up. One more tower shot to go 1 for 1. We keep the map even 2-2.
Yeah, we do, but it's 30 seconds here, and they just popped the Rift Herald. I was gonna say that you're at least going to miss out on 2 of these waves, if you're the Aatrox. But I guess that's not even a concern because they're just gonna send Shelly out there and gonna take this out. So now that is an exposed tier 3 inhibitor turret on the top side, but on the bottom side, Azir has been able to just kind of get themselves a potential tier 2, but Lily able to come through here and break that up, but almost got to pay it back for the side of MGA. And now the dragon has spawned. We are going to end up getting a Cloud Soul.
It's a Soul
MGA
Point right now.
Wow. Yeah.
Soul Point as of now. They're going to try and rush for some exits, but Trap found. The Braum moving on forward, able to put up the wall. Glacial Fissure catches out Hydro. Just got to leave the 80 carry to get out of here. They stopped the Mundo from being CC immune, but JK keeps on pushing forward with the Spirit Rush. Can't close the distance enough. Still 1 for nothing. The Dragon, it's a good deal, I gotta be honest, but you're starting to run out of space. You're starting to run out of gold to give.
Yeah, you are, but I think like if we harken back to game 1, the big final throw of the game was when Elegy kind of just was like, oh my god, it's Soul, we have to try to get this, and then he just basically threw themselves at MGA, and then Mint Gaming was able to just kind of close out after that. So they've kind of put themselves into that same position, and you talked about this during the draft about they want to be at the 22-minute Dragon Soul. They want to be able to do this, and they're right on pace for that. So they've drafted into this comp, and this time they're actually getting to what they want, but the flash away from Lord BK is just enough, and this mid fight is now starting to break out, but both sides gonna just concede the resources spent and then try to go from there. Oh, never mind.
Hole isn't enough to cut out the damage. You've got the Braum in the area, you've got the shield. It's too hard to close out that kill as the Caitlyn here. You're really looking at Ewan at the bot side to live through this dive while Witch Hat doesn't have Flash, doesn't have Cyclone, and they're able to do that. So play honestly successful on the map, all things considered. You're gonna get a little extra damage on this tower. You might even find some extra damage onto the RATP, and you're gonna find lethal in a couple seconds if one more auto came out, but not able to get it done. Ari's gonna pop that Spirit Rush to get away.
That was crazy, and this is the damage that I'm talking about on this Caitlyn. She's only at 2 items, and she's already getting to this point. If they hadn't gotten caught out after I'd said how great their positioning was, Hydron would be like destroying this game right now. So good job from them. That was perfectly placed trap. And another thing that they did at the dragon play was they actually placed the trap onto the vision ward before they even started taking the dragon. So I like that. So as soon as the teleport came through from aspect of Noxus, like the Renekton was already kind of cut down. They did end up losing somebody on the backside of that play, but I just thought it was kind of a little heads up, a little nod to the Caitlyn to throw their way as just
nothing.
Decent, just decent heads up, little things that you do on these champions that kind of can have huge impacts later on.
Yeah, and I think the scaling is starting to kick in from the Azir. You're almost at that 2-item range, but you're still dealing with aspect of Noxus at a pretty strong state on this Renekton. Now, mind you, it's that burst Renekton build. It's that Eclipse, it's that high AD that's looking to find the burst here. Soar's going to get very close to this, a little too close for comfort, honestly, but Losing that flash there, you're going to be losing this bot tower in a couple seconds. It's fine to give it now, but now you're looking at this soul here. I don't have my Vel'Koz flash. They can't position super aggressively. I'm losing my bot. We're losing bot tier 1 now. We're going to be losing mid tier 1. They're putting in an extra effort to make that the case to try and push on this Rift Herald, but they've got Witch Hat in the area. Flash and Cyclone up. Lifeform Disintegration Ray going to get stopped with the charm here. JK going to step on forward. That's the wrong step to make. Witch Hat's going to be there to punish it with Hydro.
I'm surprised that Soar Emperor actually lived through that, but I still like that play. Even if they go 1-for-1 there and Ahri ends up dying for the Vel'Koz, I still like that play. I think that was a great job from them. Just as soon as you get a tick or two onto the Mundo and the Ahri, you just throw out that Disintegration Ray, right? And as soon as you do that, like, you just force them to either completely back off or do what the Lord did, which was step up on the Ahri and eat all of that damage, and then ended up, dying for their sins there. So great job from Soar Emperor. I'm glad that we're seeing the Vel'Koz. I feel like we don't see this enough, especially in this league of like these tricky mages, that you have to really know how to play well to play them at a high level. And I like what we're seeing so far out of Soar Emperor. I think they're doing a great job on this Vel'Koz and making this champion, just making great use of this, and like giving your Caitlyn the ability to just take over the game from the get-go, where they were just barely getting out, almost looking like Lord from last game on the Veigar, where they're just slowly creating leads and creating space for their ADC, and MGA is taking pretty good advantage of it. As we start to look into here, we're getting into the soul point. It's about to spawn in about 15 seconds, and Elegy are completely on the back foot here, as MGA has like all of the forward momentum on this potential Dragon Soul point.
That trap line that I was kind of mentioning, this is the zone control that's great from the MGA comp. They're going to try and go through the mid lane. They don't want to deal with this at all. They're going to get control of the mid brush, and they're going to be able to try and push this mid lane as well. They're going to send Lily Coco in the area. And Hydro, if they can put a little bit of damage in with the help of the Vel'Koz here, it's going to be a hard contest, but Elegy have to do it. They have to descend it here, and they're just maybe going to be waiting for JK's flash, but that's like 30 seconds out here. So they're going to send over the Spirit Rush. They found you, and Knockup stops any extra follow-up here. Lifeform Disintegration Ray going to put a lot of damage to Cycle in the back line here. MGA trying to find the follow-up damage. Ahri's going to pick up the first kill, though, onto Witch Hat Black, looking for more. Good! Emperor's Divide to stop the dive, but still a shutdown picked up from Cryptid. Feather pullback stops out of Hero. Hydro can't do the damage. Soar can't get in range. Lily Coco's going to cut it down with a double kill. It's a clean Dragon contest from Elegy.
Yeah, it's just, that's just exactly how you write it up. I think they did a great job of just slowly smothering out, and then, like you said, this is a burst Renekton. They got so much damage off of onto Hydron at the beginning of this play, and then you just have a Caitlyn that just can't step up. Like you were saying, they were doing such a good job of zoning this out, but I don't know if they were expecting Aspect of Noxus to just kind of walk up here, and then Braum, just throw your shield out, make Caitlyn hit you, takes a little bit of damage from the Mundo, but then we start to see this play develop here, where they split MGA up, and they just kind of go here, and another great Spirit Rush into Charm from the Lord, just playing this Ahri extremely well, and then there's just nothing really that they can do. They get out of the range of the Vel'Koz ultimate, and then Hydreion just ate way too much, and at this whole time, like, he's still taking damage from the dragon, right? And so just really can't do much. They don't have enough damage to take out the Mundo and everybody else, so just wonderful job from Elegy to just kind of close the gap and force that fight when MGA were split up and the dragon had been started, and I don't think that they really wanted to do that. Now it's oof.
Oh, too far forward. JK is going to get pretty far forward. One more shot's going to pick it up, but it's a 2-for-1 at the end of the day. And another big thing on this comp here from MGA, I have this in my mind right now. There's going to be a Baron contest on screen. You're just going to see Soar pick up the kill with the Lifeform Disintegration Ray, but the Baron's going to go over to Elegy. The dream team fight you see when you see Wukong Azir, you're going to get a Cyclone into a full like Shurima shuffle, and there's going to be follow-up, right? Who's that follow-up? Is it the Azir? Azir isn't really in a state to face tank, 3 members that they're going to pick up in like the dream Shurima shuffle. So
No,
you know,
but
you know
I mean,
who
maybe
is
if you have
that?
Vel'Koz, like if Vel'Koz coming from the.
But then they're in range.
outside. Yeah,
That's
I
the
think.
big thing.
Yeah,
That's the
Aatrox needs
problem.
to get a little. Aatrox needs to get a little bit more. I think once they get their Death Stance picked up and maybe another item with a little bit of extra health, but by that time, are you going to be able to kill everybody? As we see a 3-level difference in between the Renekton and the Aatrox. So out of hero, just this is what happens when you start to send your jungle into the top lane and you start to roam your mid up into the top lane. How many times do you see Ahri's just shove with Q, get to the top lane, shove with Q, get to here, get to there, and you know, they've been doing this really well to just get this Renekton so far ahead and just put out a hero on this Aatrox like so far under. And you're right, like they're going to get into range, and even with their ultimate, just not have enough sustain and health to kind of deal with this. Yeah, I don't know. I think that, you know, the ultimate from the Vel'Koz can keep them at least kind of safe at bay. But if they don't get the Mundo's passive, like, he's going to be able to just walk on through and just kill the Caitlyn, kill the Vel'Koz, and all the follow-up damage from Lily and Suarez and Renekton might be a little bit too much. And not enough can be said about the Lord on this Ahri is just making so many plays happen. It almost seems like they're ulting on cooldown.
Yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. You have that Ahri with Malignance as well. You want to be burning that during this garbage time. They're looking for one right now because they have this timer. It's a great one to look for. You can chase Witch Hat out. You can look for Ewan as well. They're going to find both of them, and this might just be a buy one, get two free if they can find the damage. Never mind the shuffle into the tower. Going to pick up that one Cyclone, trying to continue the rest of the side. They're going to be able to pop the Mundo, but here goes Witch Hat. There's the Lifeborn Disintegration where you can put a lot of damage to Cryptid, but the Rage Beacon to heal up something. They've got Aspect in the area. Dominus pop out of Hero, trying to be that hero once again. Able to do it last game, not this time. Aspect gonna put a stop to that one. Hydra gonna step on forward. Featherstorm can't quite find the damage. Another briefcase to the head. Isn't gonna be any extra damage, and not able to pick up the Q as well. It's a 1-for-1. Honestly, 1-for-2 actually. The Braum gonna fall.
Yeah, and they had the pick that they wanted, but the Shuriken Shuffle just enough to put Ahri into the tower. I think this is just a great reaction from MGA here, as you know, they do kind of just like they just overstep a little bit. You know, Elegy, they had a play like you said. They're on a timer. This is the time to make it. This Braum paying dividends, and then Lily playing this Xayah actually really well during this fight here. As now they're starting to come online, they're able to kind of match the Caitlyn's damage just a little bit, but here after a hero goes down, like that's kind of all she wrote, right? Like that's it. The play is dead, and thank God that Elegy and MGA didn't just completely overcommit. But now you do have the second dragon in a row going the way of Elegy. This is one of those things where you look at the box score of these games and you say, okay, first 3 dragons went to this team, but the last 4 dragons went to the other team. You could just kind of see like where in the game the one team like kind of caught up to the other, and you know, nothing is set in stone if MGA wins right now. Oh, ooh, okay.
This could be the fight. It's going to be a flank with the Cyclone, but they're going to push away, so that's just going to go terrible. Glacial Fissure locking down Newen to get any extra damage. Lily Coco stepping up at the right time. Gets a double kill. Elegy starting to run away with this one. Aspect seeing the play, seeing the call, but knowing that they don't need to look for this. They can just hit this tower, back away. Ada Hero's getting some pushing done in the backside and the top side of the fight, but I don't think that matters. Cryptid, you've got the ultimate to get out of here, but worry about that positioning.
Yeah, and it's ult for ult there. Vel'Koz's ult is obviously going to be on a much lower cooldown. I'd like to see if maybe he gets like a Malignance or a Leandries or something here. Maybe some anti-heal, as we don't see really any outside of the Aatrox having that. But Aatrox is also just trying to live through these fights. As we saw there, he's like paper mache, just getting taken out just every time that he steps up. So I don't know really what Hero can do right now, considering he's so far behind. But yeah, there's basically no anti-heal for the side of MGA, and if we get deeper into this game and they still haven't bought this, at least put you know, into an Oblivion Orb or something. The Renekton and the Mundo are just going to heal through all the damage that you throw at them.
they have that front line now. That's the big difference between those two teams. There isn't anyone that can act as that front line for MGA. That front line is damage. That front line is trying to play the zone control and trying to threaten with a little bit of poke, but that's out now. The Zaya's evened up now. They're gonna actually catch out Witch Hat. Good clone usage to get away, of course. No flash burn as well because they don't have it. But like, they're so hungry. LG's so hungry, and now they're moving around this map. Honestly, very well. It's a very good look from them. It's very uncharacteristic compared to what we've been seeing early on in the series. So this is a great look for Elegy right now. They feel very comfortable. They feel like they have this option to look. And MGA, you can kind of see it from their positioning. They don't know what to do.
Tightening up. Yeah, they're getting a little tight. Yeah,
they don't know what to do. What do they do?
Yeah, and I agree with you about Elegy, because last game they just kind of like won the game on the fact that Veigar didn't die. Right, like it was all Lord, like getting down to 100 health and just dying. And MGA, yeah, they just seem tight right now. They just seem like they are completely out of sorts. Like they have completely just
beautiful charm to stop the
that was
steal.
wonderful. Yeah, and what do? I think you turtle. You have to figure out some way, kind of like last game where Elegy, like it looked really dire until Lily Coco got her 3 kills on the MF, right? And I think that that's something that you may have to try to do here for Adahiro, is get him a couple shutdown or kills or something on a fight, but I don't know how you do it. Like, what to do is easy. Like, you need to get him back in the game. You need to get him caught up in gold with this Renekton somehow, or at least close. How to do it, I don't know. I think one way is maybe catch aspect of Noxus out when they're doing stuff like this, but they just don't really have the lockdown or the ability to do it. And yeah,
so charm. I like that look though. I like that. I like seeing that. This is the champion that seems much more comfortable for JK compared to the Veigar. They were looking for those plays. They're seeing those angles on the Veigar. Just not the right tool for the job. Now they've got that tool. Now they're looking pretty good. Yeah, a little behind on gold, but that's not really the job for Ahri. You've got the Mundo in the backline. You've got the Renekton causing traffic. It's not your job to deal damage. You find that charm. You hit everybody for 20%, 30% of their HP bar, shred some MR, so Dominus and whatever else is coming out AP-wise can do a little extra damage. You're done. That's your job. And LG really understand their position right now. And MGA, now that pressure is starting to mount. 3 Cloud Dragons does matter. That's slow resistance. That's movement speed around the map. They can be at everything early. And this might be the final mistake for MGA if they just don't, they get a little too antsy. They might face check, but this is a good decision too. Pull them away.
Yep. Yeah, and I like this a lot. The only thing is you have to get out here.
Yeah, if they can get out, they can do it, but the charge is going to be found on the Black Hat. Their revive already. It's just a pop. It's a bloodfest here, and Elegy are dancing in it. They're going to find a clean ace, a triple for the Renekton in the backline. One single misstep is all MGA needed to fall, and Elegy capitalize, and they should take this series. There's no way they don't end here.
I think I could have said this a little bit ago. My copyrighted phrase of "this is their game to lose." This was just Elegy tightened up in game 2 and did exactly what they were supposed to and played to their comp. On this one, they just kind of did more of the same. Outside of the early struggles from the bot lane, they wiped that away and just stuck to a game plan. And I love this game plan, and it's something that we talk about here, especially in Olympus, like almost every week, and we almost never see it, right? But Cryptic Clown going to the top lane, like these games are won and lost through the top lane. We see it every week where you just like, oh, solo kill top lane, solo kill top lane. Like we saw it in game 1 with the Ambessa where Garen just couldn't catch back up. And in this game and the game before, they spent some resources, they went to the top lane, and they got aspect of Noxus ahead. So I really like what they did to sort of change that. And then instead of trying to go with a forced dive comp and like what they did in game 1, they went completely away from it. And like that kind of adaptation here is we're going to see, and putting the Lord on Ahri, oh my god, like this champion, it seems like he was made to play that champion. It was so clean so many times.
It's
go ahead. Go ahead.
The actual play of the pick You know, that I feel like every week we see a team go for a pick comp, go for some sort of side lane play, and you never see them do it. And you picked up on that instantly with the Mundo. Get on forward, get aggressive, and this is kind of one of those plays that almost turns out, you know, like super great for MGA, and it does end up, but at the same time, it's so heavily required on MGA to play out of their mind to get their lead out. And at the end of the day, it's the same thing as the game 2. They're getting one. Elegy's getting one. They're scaling, and they're playing their comp well. Aspect had a phenomenal game 3 here that really carried them through. Auto Hero not able to get back in the game after those top ganks from the Mundo. And just every single time and point where you expect Elegy to make the correct decision, make the right play, and just fight. That's all they have to do. Just get into the fight, get into the zone, force mistakes from MGA, because admittedly they do have a harder comp. They do have to play zone. They have to go in at the right time. There's only a couple bits of pieces of time, and that's a beautiful Emperor's Divide. If you have like an Alistar, if you have like a Rel, if you have the Leona, if you have something that can make everybody collapse together, and then you've got like a big team fight 80 carry, or, you know, the Aatrox is still cooking. So just execution is there, and the players are great, but not at the right times, not meeting up here. And I think it all culminates in this. We talk about desperate, we talk about just MGA feeling the pressure, and once again, some individual great plays, but you're out of time. You can't deal with that Renekton. Everyone talks about Renekton doesn't scale. Dude, anyone scales when you're level 20 with 4 or 5 items. It doesn't matter. It's a 2-second stun. It's an armor shred from the slice and dice. It's damage. It's a crocodile in your face with the Mundo. It's too much frontline. Not a lot of damage from his members. You're looking at the bot lane from JK and Lily Coco, who resurge into a great game, but job done. Job finished. And that means Elegy going on into playoffs for sure. We're very confident in that.
Yeah, we know.
There's still a little bit of
more.
more.
Picture is now.
Yeah,
so
we go check out the announcements to make sure that exactly the order. But we know Elegy's making it on through. With that being the case, we got to let everybody go here. We're gonna send you over to Elysium because they're gonna be going to Game 3. The Unks. This is gonna decide some playoff seeding for Group B. So be excited for that. Go give them some love. I've been Halfling, joined by Fell, observed by Siobhan, produced by Romeo. With that being the case, we'll see you next time.